Hello, everybody, and welcome on this Sunday morning to final round coverage of the FPO here at the 2019 San Francisco Open, presented by AbsolutXtracts, powered by Innova Champion Discs. I'm Nate Doss. This is our expert commentator for the FPO, four-time women's world champion, Valerie Jenkins. And Val, before we get into anything, we have to start by saying Happy Mother's Day
Happy
to
Mother's Day.
each and every mother out there, especially ours. Of course, we love our moms, and without all you mothers out there, none of us would be there. So happy Mother's Day. In fact, happy Mother's Day on behalf of our entire crew here at the Disc Golf Pro Tour, and every day is Mother's Day. This is just the day we call Mother's Day. So happy Mother's Day. And but let's get right into it, Val. We've got the same group from yesterday, a little bit of a different layout. Break it down for us.
It is the same group, but as we saw yesterday, Catrina Allen blasted her way to that top spot. She shot a 10 down in yesterday's round, which we found out was the course record for the women. So she is clearly in first place. She's sitting there now with 5 strokes over Paige Pierce. Paige Bjerkaas had the lead yesterday, so she dropped down a little bit, had a little bit of struggles through the beginning of the round, picked it up in the second half. So she's still on the lead card today. She's in third place, and we have Madison Walker. So it's kind of like Groundhog's Day. Isn't that what we saw in the intro? But it's kind of like Groundhog's Day, where we have the same women in the group, but the standings have switched up just a little bit. Catrina has taken the commanding lead, but we will see if she's able to hold off Paige Pierce. We know that Paige likes to just go pedal to the metal in the final round. So we're going to see what Paige has in store for Kat, or if Kat's just going to run away with this thing.
Yeah, definitely. We have to mention that the score that Catrina Allen shot yesterday was a course record. I think just completely obliterating that course record. The course record might have been Paige Bjerkaas from the day before at 4 under, as this is a new course, a few little changes here and there for our ladies players. So congratulations to her. But as you said, Paige Pierce, there's nothing like Paige Pierce charging on a Sunday. I mean, there really isn't. I mean, it's similar to Paul McBeth on the MPO side. Those two players somehow just find a way in a final round to get back up in there, whether it's, bad play at the top or just great play by those players. One of the most difficult things is to follow up a great round with another great round. So that's Katrina's got that kind of on her plate, as well as a big lead. It's always tough to see what strategy they play.
Yep, exactly. And having a big lead can sometimes be tough. You have that little bit of cushion, so you give yourself a little bit of leeway, and once you do that, you're done. So she has to just keep moving forward and keep trying to get as many birdies as possible, and that is the only way she can win.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And here we go. We are now out at the first tee. Our players are getting ready. And here we are, the final round of the 2019 San Francisco Open. I'm excited. I know the players are as well.
So we've seen this hole before, but just as a reminder, it's a par 4, 668 feet.
Our 9 a.m. grouping in the final round of the 2019 SFO. FPO card from Pipestone, Minnesota.
Okay, good luck.
Catrina Allen.
Positioning on the left-hand side for
Next on
Catrina.
the tee box from Plano, Texas, Paige Pierce.
Yeah, hole one playing
Third on the
statistically
lead
is one of the
card
easiest
from
holes. It's the way the
Emporia,
fairway
Kansas,
pitches.
Paige
It just is
Bjerkaas.
a pretty nice hole for our players to start off on. A little confidence boost. Paige Bjerkaas.
Rounding out this foursome from Pensacola, Florida, Madison Walker.
Good luck.
Nice shot there by Madison as well, and 4 drives right in the middle. Nice start for our lead card. We will take a quick break and we will see you in the fairway.
Let Dynamic Discs help distinguish the winners at your next event. We've got many options, from a mini disc to a full-size disc, and we can do custom wrapped baskets from the micro recruit all the way up to a veteran. We can help design your trophies, and we have discounted prices on larger orders. Our designs feature sharp graphics and vibrant colors. We have what it takes to set your event's winners apart, from their bags to their backyards. Learn all the ways we can help at dynamicdiscs.com.
And we're back here in the booth, and the 4 players have teed off. There's no turning back now. A champion will be crowned just over 3 hours from now, and we'll see if it can be Catrina Allen. She's playing very, very well at this time. She's had a great season up to this point. Now we see Madison Walker. When you are further back, Val, you have to take that right side, but you were liking that right side.
I do. I'm not. It would land in that same position that Madison would just landed in, and I think that is just the easiest point. It's the shortest distance just to go through the trees rather than go around. So I felt like I had the best opportunity to give myself a putt if I was able to make it through the trees. And I do feel like that there's a few large gaps that you can aim for. So as long as you hit those.
Yeah, Paige Bjerkaas pulled it way to the right yesterday. This looks much better. Oh, and she hit a tree kick down to the right again. She'll be familiar with the play from down there. So she'll just have a little pitch up the hill. Now Catrina Allen back in the fairway. Be interesting to see if she makes any changes at all to her game plan. But interestingly enough, I would not call her game plan very aggressive. She just seemed so confident on almost every throw yesterday.
And landing just outside the circle. That's Paige Bjerkaas' disc, I believe. Or
No, that's
also
Maddie's.
could be Madison's.
Yeah, that's Maddie's. And then another 80 feet up is going to be Paige Pierce's drive. We see that quite a bit with Paige. Pound for pound, the longest thrower in disc golf, male or female. There's no doubt about that.
This really makes it easy when you land this far up the fairway.
Boy, sort of drop kicked that one, a back leg kicking out. She's going to be up there pin high. That's an okay shot. We'll see if she has a look from where she ended up. There's that one kind of bushy tree there. Needs to avoid.
Yeah, so nobody's too close. Yesterday we saw, and in the last 2 days, we've seen the players be at the circle's edge, but on the top side. So We saw Paige and Catrina throwing on the top side, even with the basket, and that makes the putts much easier. Now they're going to have to work lower than the basket and work their way back up for their putts. So it's not as easy as it has been in the previous rounds, but we will see how they attack it.
Yeah, and just a weather update for everybody. It's exactly the same as yesterday, starting these mornings with a little bit of fog cover. It's pretty much the standard for San Francisco at this time of year. In fact, growing up, we always called it the winter time, the San Francisco summer, as it's not as foggy in the winter, but as soon as late spring, summer comes around, the fog is there. And it's a little bit of a gusty breeze, possibly, but I don't think the wind's going to be too much of a factor until just a little bit later in the round. Ooh, Paige not able to get up and over that log. She's still well inside the circle.
Yeah.
She does play so quickly.
She does. And then that is her game plan.
Yeah.
But sometimes you can question if she just needed to take one extra second just to really acknowledge that that log was there, acknowledge how high she needed to get that upshot. But it is her game plan to play so quick. So hopefully we'll be able to catch all of her shots today. Missed a few yesterday because she's just so fast. We do see players like that. And here's Paige. She does have a good look at the basket, but she's about 30 feet out.
It's going to tell us everything we need to know. She really wanted that one, just not up high enough. It wasn't an easy putt by any means.
No, it wasn't, and she jumped, so that proved that she was outside the circle.
Yeah.
So we're going to see Catrina. Wow, we can't even see the basket here, but we know it's tucked right. Oh, there it is. Just blended so well with the background there.
Yeah. Cat giving it just a little pitch up there. Now we'll see Madison Walker. Madison with the shot of the day yesterday, canning a 75-foot putt from the drop zone on the 16th hole. Madison finished yesterday's round really, really well. Oh boy, that kind of rolled away. She's going to have a putt coming back.
Got it.
But it'll be Paige Bjerkaas first up, coming up the hill.
And there we go. Way to make up for that little misstep in an upshot. But thankfully she can rely on that putter. And that's the thing. I mean, this should immediately wake them up. We see Madison, laying up, but rolling a little bit past. I mean, there's no excuse that she shouldn't be under the basket here. So hopefully this is a little wake-up call as they head into the next 17 holes of this tournament. You need to get these putts close to the basket.
And there we go, our leader putting it in the basket there. Just one left to tap in here with Paige Pierce. And now hole one is in the books. Just 17 holes to go in our championship. We're going to move over to hole two. Let's take a look at hole two, Val.
Be close to this basket because again it's an elevated one, so being as close to the basket as possible is key if you want to get that birdie, but it is reachable. 279 feet.
Yeah, absolutely it is. And we just saw on the hot score there Zoe Andykes 2 under through 4, And we've said this run of 4 starting holes is birdie opportunities for each and every hole, really.
Yes.
So we want to say that the possibilities for birdie on 1 through 4 is right there. Now, it is not a true plateau, because you figure a plateau is coming up. It's sloped on all sides.
On all sides.
It's more of a flat spot. I mean, the hill comes down. Yeah.
Side hill.
So, yeah. But anyways, look at that. There's our top 10 leaderboard. We see some really nice scores on our top 10 leaderboard. Really down there at the bottoms. Kona Starpanis and Holly Finley both under par for this round. So nice start to the day for our players.
And I'm really impressed. I keep seeing, I think I jinxed it, but we saw Elaine's name move immediately right before I'm about to mention it. But amazing to see Elaine King on this leaderboard. These kind of courses are not typically her favorite. I mean, this is huge distance shots. She's such an accurate woods golfer, but it's awesome to see Elaine's name on the leaderboard. She can school us any day of the week, and it's awesome to see her still out here so competitive. But here we are back in the action.
Kat able to get it up onto the flat spot. Here's the thing about Elaine King. Elaine, sure, maybe it's not her favorite type of golf, but one of the most competitive people I know.
But she's so realistic. So she'll tell you, all right, well, according to statistics, I would not play this course as well as you, and that's why I'm not going to go play the tournament. But Elaine is giving it her all, and maybe just with the little new disc change, she's feeling a little more confident in her drives.
Oh boy, that's wide. But she's beaten the big tree, come back inbound. She'll be on the side hill. Such a tight gap going out of this.
Yeah, and we can see from the tee there is that branch that hangs over, so it makes it really, really difficult to hit that line, but get enough height so that you're going to clear those pine trees that are right on the top of that plateau side hill.
Flat spot. Now, Paige Bjerkaas pulled this yesterday as well, but coming back inbound, so better start for Paige. Of course, she always has such a good attitude out there on the course. She's always got a good smile on her face. And now here's Madison Walker. Oh, beautiful shot there by Madison. She's going to have the best putt of the group. We'll take a quick break and we'll see everybody up on that flat spot green.
Hey everybody, this is Kevin Jones. I'm here with my brand new Prodigy VP3 V2 backpack, and I'm loving this thing a lot. It's extremely lightweight. It's carrying all the discs I could ever ask for. It's pretty sturdy and durable. I've got my 2 putters up here, no problem. Room for a towel if need be. It's really lightweight, it's extremely efficient, and for all you, it's extremely affordable, so come check it out.
How far outside are you think? I'll be
And we're back.
half a step inside the circle.
Conversation, who's out, who's up. I think they determined it's Catrina, who's stuck up behind a tree. She's just pitched at that moment right then. She just pitched up to the green. And so now it'll be Paige Pierce. So I know we didn't see that at home, but Catrina Allen has just pitched up to the basket. She's right under the basket for her 3. Now Paige Pierce in a very difficult spot.
Wow. Under a tree, having to throw over a bush. I mean, really, she just needs to get it up and under the basket. I don't think there's any chance she's going for this one.
Good shot there by Paige Pierce. She's going to be within 10 feet of this basket. Long way to go still. Nothing, no reason to do anything too crazy.
And everybody just has some difficult stances. See Paige Bjerkaas.
Paige kind of whipping it up there, hitting the side of our pyramid. And now we have Madison Walker, who had the best drive of the group.
Let's take note of that flag right now. Take note of that flag right now.
So far of any individual player, what a beautiful putt there by Maddie Walker.
Huge putt. That was awesome for a 2. Only 2 on the card. And it looks like just tap-ins for the rest, for their pars.
Yep, it is just a tap in, but there, Madison Walker, beautiful putt. We'll move down the hill to hole 3. Val, what do we got on hole 3?
Hole 3 is 347 feet. It's a par 3. And this one suits really well for the sidearm throw. But the fairway does work its way from left to right as you work your way around the trees. But sidearms do have to be careful of the skip. If you do hit that road or anything to the right, you have the chance to go out of bounds. The out of bounds line is in the woods at about 40 feet. And so if you do land in there, it's going to be really hard to save a par. But this one, give yourself a look. We saw a couple of the players park it in the previous rounds, but I think at this point with the wind just so low, you need to get yourself out there and give yourself a run.
Yeah, take advantage of the birdies here in the early goings. And one thing we didn't really talk about in our opening is the battle for third place. It's not, it's not something we always talk about here, but really there's large gaps here. We have 5 strokes between Kat and Paige, another 6 strokes between Madison and Paige Bjerkaas, up to Paige Pierce. So, really the battle for third place is going to be on a little mini tournament, if you will. We'll see if Erica Stitchcomb could come up from behind, Sarah Holcomb. So there's some people that could potentially work their way into third place and give themselves a little confidence boost going into the Masters Cup next weekend.
And this is how it always seems to end up in the last day. There's always these mini tournaments going on, but
needs a kick. That needs to get a kick. Oh, and she's gotten it. Wow, how fortunate. That was really just a terrible drive by Madison, but getting really lucky getting through the woods and back out into the safe part of the fairway.
It's unbelievable. There is out of bounds in that woods on that right, starting early right off the tee pad. So if she would have gone out of bounds, that would have made a horrible start to this hole. But there we go. Catrina Allen proves that nice, easy backhand can park the hole.
Incredible shot that says a lot about the thought process and the mentality of Catrina Allen, going directly for that basket, not worried about anything at all. Beautiful shot. There's Paige Pierce. She's got a nice turn on this. If it's going to flatten. All right, not so bad. Just down there at the edge, not in any worries about the OB line. Those are golf OBs. Aggressive shot there by Paige, though.
Yeah, she went soaring past the basket, so she's going to have a big putt coming back. And with Catrina right under the basket, she needs to make this one if she wants to keep up with Kat.
Asking for it to lift a little bit. We'll take a quick break and catch up with Madison Walker. We're back here with Madison Walker. This is her second shot, just a chip up to the basket. She got incredibly lucky getting through those woods, landing inbounds.
Just gotta have a little sigh of relief after something like that happens. I mean, that'll jostle you a little bit. I mean, that was just such a yank of a drive. So let's hope she can shake it off for the next tee shot. I'm trying to make something happen there. Paige Bjerkaas goes running for that one. But it is nice to see it be just so calm right now. And we know this basket is protected, but it's nice to see it calm so these players are able to run at these putts.
Yeah, we've seen the jacket go on and off for Paige Pierce now twice in the first 3 holes. So it's still warm. It's a crisp morning there, about 55 degrees.
And they're questioning the red stakes there. And yep, it is the golf out of bounds, not the disc golf.
Wow, and just slinking it in on that left side. We're going to get the Zuka replay. Watch this thing just catch that left side. Oh,
that was huge.
Yeah.
I mean, that was 28 feet. She's right near the circle's edge, and she just looks so confident in that putt, slightly uphill, and with the pressure on. She needs to make those.
Oh, and Paige Bjerkaas unable to make her comeback putt. Sort of the story of these last 2 days for Paige. Just a little bit of up and down play. And there we go, as we saw a bunch yesterday. Catrina Allen with the CTP for birdie. And here we go, Val. Let's head up to hole 4. Let's take a look at hole 4, Val.
Hole 4, it's a par 4, 507 feet. So this is the drive that we're going to see the women throwing, trying to clear that OB sand trap. It's an OB hazard sand trap, but the basket for the women is off to the left-hand side. So next year we're going to have to update this drone footage because the women's hole on this one is just a tad more difficult. You're going to want to clear that OB hazard like I'm mentioning, and then you have an Anheuser shot to the basket. This is how I'd play it. I know that some of the players are going straight into the woods where they're actually landing by the men's basket and trying to weave their way through the trees for their upshot. I like the clear, wide open shot. I don't like to bring the obstacles into play, but we'll see how they attack it today, see if any strategies change up for today.
Yeah, you said it yesterday. Path of least resistance was the advice from 5-time world champion Elaine King, and I think that's smart. I definitely played it to the left, but we saw Catrina threw a beautiful drive yesterday and was, so far into those woods that it was just a pitch down the main part of the fairway. So we'll see if she's able to do that again. Got it a little low, needs to get up. And we think, I could not quite see, Val, but it looks as if it's gone into that hazard bunker. It was just a little low out of her hand. We'll verify that as they move up the fairway. We've just verified that it is in the hazard bunker. So first misstep by our leader. We'll see what Paige Pierce can do to follow it up. She's got it on a good line. Took the skip into the woods. So now it's just going to be navigating these large eucalyptus grove. Excuse me. So the jostling begins. Maddie, it's got to get up. Oh, and we just caught the end of that. It hit the top of the rim, danced around on the bunker, but ultimately falling into that hazard OB, or excuse me, hazard bunker.
So it says it's 310 feet from the tee, but when the drives are coming in, we're not able to see it because it is a little bit of a hill to that bunker. So we're going to catch up with them when they take their lies up in the bunker.
Are you obsessed with disc golf? If so, this is for you. DiscGolfBoxes.com. Premium handpicked products shipped to your door every month. It's easy. 1. Pick your box size, the par, birdie, or ace. 2. Choose the brand of disc you would like. 3. Fill out the survey so we know exactly what you like. Go now to DiscGolfBoxes.com and sign up today. Use coupon code DGPT to save 10% on your first box. Go to DiscGolfBoxes.com to get your monthly box of disc golf awesomeness.
Now, Val, we see the lie in this hazard bunker. She's taking it from the bunker, but with a one-stroke penalty. What a perfect placement for this bunker is. It's caught up 2 of our players. Oh, a little bit of a pull. And a late kick, which means now at best, Catrina Allen's going to be able to get her bogey on this 4th hole. So we'll see potential for a 2-stroke swing here.
And I do think that this is a good move to make these bunkers hazards. It just makes the footing so difficult for the players. You have to do a standstill, but we do. It looks like Madison's going to go for a little walk up. We're going to see how the footing plans out here, but with just the sand moving so much under your feet, it's hard to get a solid stance. So surprised she's not really practicing it beforehand, but we're gonna see.
That was the first big gust I saw. Now Maddie getting all the way through and going long. Nice kick at the end there. She's going to have an uphill par putt from that position, but that was the first little gust of wind that I saw. And a cold breeze today, making this final round even just that much more challenging.
We've been talking about it all weekend, so I'm going to be surprised if it really doesn't pick up. But we saw it last year in the coverage, and it was just absolutely ripping for the entire day, like for the entire weekend. And so I'm surprised that it's not as consistent as it was last year, but that's fortunate for the players. We're going to catch up with Paige Bjerkaas. She's lining up her upshot in the woods. You can see how many trees she has to maneuver around. Oh, gets a kick, but she should still have a putt.
Yeah, the tree she hit is just inside the circle. Oh boy, speed an issue for that. That had a lot of speed on it, not so much touch. So now we'll see what Paige Pierce is able to do. This is all about having the right speed coming into this green. So I think to the left there, as she's kind of guiding this look down, is the main part of the fairway. So it's the widest gap through the trees leading right down to the pin. And she needs to take advantage of this, as this is an opportunity for 2 strokes. If she's able to nestle this into this green, and when you're 5 strokes back, it can be and only able to get halfway up that. About 140 feet she had. She probably only threw it about 70, 80 feet before hitting a big tree.
And that can be just so frustrating. She knows the position she's in. She knows that each one of these shots matters. because she knows that her competitor has just had a few mistakes. So the door was wide open, so that just makes it even more frustrating when you're not able to capitalize on it. And we are playing against the course, but in a time like this where you're playing a tournament, you need to be aware of what the other competitors are doing. And so Paige was not able to live up to that, but she might still have a putt. We'll see from here. No, that's pretty far. She's going to need to lay up.
I think just putting this under the basket is the key. See, I don't like that play at all. I understand the aggressive play. There was already one stroke in hand. And so now she's put herself in position to have to make a putt to even gain that one stroke, depending on what Catrina's able to do here.
Right. With so much ground cover, you just need to nestle it in there, and you can see it hit the ground, kicked up, might have rolled a little bit of a distance, but here's Catrina. You can see the blue flag there. So she is about 50 feet from the basket. So I imagine this will just be a nice, easy layup.
Wow. Actually, she made it look like a nice, easy layup, hitting just the top of the rim, almost putting that one in. And wouldn't have that been just a crazy turn of circumstance and for Kat to save par, Paige potentially looking at a bogey here, just depending on how far she went past the basket.
No, you were good.
Again, I understand the aggressive play, but boy, there's a lot of holes left. I would have said back on the first tee, you can't win this tournament in the first four. It really 5 through 11 are 5 through 10 is where a lot of strokes can be gained or lost. So Paige Pierce needs to stay patient. This is Madison Walker to save her par. Oh, just over the right rim.
And here we go. We have Paige Bjerkaas. For her. That was for the birdie.
Yeah, that was for birdie. That was her third shot. Put in a really tough spot. We'll now see Paige Pierce get into position. It looks as if Paige Bjerkaas is just going to putt to keep it moving. Move over to that fifth tee. The fifth tee is just up to the left there.
Okay, so this is a tester. Look at that. And not a problem. Just that angle looks a little bit tricky.
It did look tricky, and it was hard for us to tell how far she was on her after that putt, that third putt. And we'll see just Catrina's swoop in here. I think she still has to putt out. Yeah, here she comes right here. And so this will be Catrina for a bogey. So the first stroke has been gained back by Paige Pierce. We'll move over to the fifth.
Hole 5, a par 5, 1,033 feet. Starts off with a beautiful view from the tee pad as we make our way down the fairway. A dramatic drop off and decline for that first drive. So it's important to maintain the drive to land in the middle of the fairway or off to the right to allow yourself the second drive in the middle of the fairway. And then the work begins when you're working your way to the basket for your upshot. It is nestled on a little bit of a mound. So leaving your upshots close is really important. You want to be on top of that hill, and you don't want to risk going past or rolling beyond it. We saw a little bit of trouble from both the men and the women yesterday on this hole.
Yeah, it's one of those things. If you get a good drive off this one, all of a sudden the hole becomes so much easier. But when you get caught up early, boy, it can get at you pretty good.
Yeah.
Just a reminder to our fans at home, the overview was actually starting at the drop zone. So these players are a good 400 feet back from where our overview starts. And so this is the same tee for the men and women. It's not a different tee, just a different par. The men playing it at a 4, The lady's playing here as a par 5.
Yeah, and landing, a couple feet, 100 feet in front of that drop zone would be ideal.
We saw Paige Pierce do that.
Yes.
I mean, she's had a couple of bombs off of this tee.
Yeah, and it's all been up to she just is able to get the full flex out of that disc. She's able to turn it over, has really nice height on it, not too high, not too low, allowing the disc to really fly out. And I think it's a matter of disc choice on this one, especially if there is a little bit of a gust. You need a disc that's going to be able to handle it. We've seen yesterday there were a few cut rollers. They just turned too much and then cut rolled. And the place you do not want to be is on the left-hand side of the fairway.
Yeah, Nate Sexton would call it a throller. It's an accidental roller. So it's a throw roller. But yeah, you're right. When it cut rolls way over to the left, just you get sort of put in very difficult positions with the big trees on that side. There's some redwoods, some large pine trees.
I mean, the fairway's massive, so you just need to avoid those trees. We did see Sarah Hokum in the very first round working her way through the trees, and we can see her in our view that she is working her way over there again. So there's a bit of a backup on this hole. But look at this view of the city. San Francisco is just such a unique place with the hills and just the way the housing. I mean, just look at how they ride there's a road back there, I would imagine, just to see how the houses just line the hills.
There is a road back there, and yeah, that's this is the very southern portion of the city, and so we're actually sort of in a kind of an unurbanized area there in that view. That was Elaine King. Oh, unable to get through. She's now OB again. She still has those trees to navigate. And we see Sarah Hokum.
And there's that wall of trees that I'm talking about. If you land behind them, I mean, Elaine was shooting for a gap that couldn't have been wider than 10 feet between each of those trees, and then put it at a little bit of an angle, and it just makes that gap so much tighter. But here we have Rebecca Cox. Haven't seen her play this weekend, but we've seen a lot of her playing throughout the Disc Golf Pro Tour so far. Nice crush. Let's see if she can clear the hazard.
Ooh, just
and the
sneaking.
green.
Yeah, just sneaking over the green. She's going to be in a good position. It's hard for us to know. I guess we could check UDisc to see if that was her. It was probably her third shot from that portion. So she's looking at an outside chance at birdie.
It's funny how both days Paul was the shortest drive that I filmed on this hole. Oh, Kevin ripped it yesterday too. Remember, he was like, "Oh, that's far."
And that one just right down there in the middle. You're right, though. That left side valve is so thick. The way those trees were planted, just as a barrier, I'm sure they were planted to protect the community that's just to the left of the property line there from any golf balls going down that way. But it creates a major challenge for our disc golfers if they get caught up on this left side. And Elaine's now going to have to take her relief.
Wow, and this is just so tricky. I mean, look at how close those trees are to her throw. I think at this point, this is just more of just a toss it through. You do not even want to risk hitting those trees again. Excuse me, sir, this isn't a parking lot. There's a tournament going on here. So if Elaine went out of bounds off the tee, out of bounds on her second shot, She's now throwing 5.
Yeah, and that's assuming she got all the way down there off the tee shot. That's a long ways off the tee down where she threw the first one we saw her throw. So, oh boy, this hole just piling on for Elaine King. We'll come back eventually to the tee pad here, and here we are back at the tee. And just to update everybody, we've played 4 holes here in the final round of the 2019 San Francisco Open, and we've just seen really not too much action. We have Paige Bjerkaas making a bogey on the 3rd hole. Madison Walker has a bogey and a birdie. She is even par for the round, but the big story is right there at the top. Paige Pierce has taken just 1 stroke back from Catrina through 4 holes. And at that average, if she were to take 1 per 4, she would come up just 1 stroke short. And so we would, we'll see how that happens. And sometimes you have to break it down that way. I really do think that between holes 5 and holes 10 are where a lot of strokes can be gained and or lost on both sides of things. Oh,
And that was just a little bit too much to the right. She still had that nice flex, but kicks her back to the left. I don't think it's going to be too bad to the left. She might even be closer to the middle of the fairway. And I like that height. Paige Bjerkaas going for a better strategic shot than we saw yesterday, but gets a big skip.
it's exactly where she ended up yesterday.
She had a little more pop on that today, I feel.
Yeah, Paige's not one of the biggest throwers in the women's division. She does have a really very consistent throw. And here's Kat. See what Catrina's able to do. Oh, got a nice move on this. This is going to swing back and be beautifully in the middle of the fairway. And our leader, Catrina Allen, wow, what a shot for her. And now it's just getting better. Call that perfect, folks. That's right in the middle, right where she wanted to be.
Gonna ride off to the right. Heard a little bit of a groan. We'll see how these shots ended up after we take a quick commercial break.
We're back live in the fairway with Paige Pierce, who got caught up in the big tree, but really kicking her really not so bad. I would say at this point she just needs to get a nice shot down in this fairway and then try to attack this green. Remember, it's a par 5. Still 4 shots left to get it into this basket for a par.
That's a nice angle that she's in. She just has to crush it. There are a few hazards in the fairway, but she lands nice and easy. That's going to give her another angle, good angle toward the basket.
Yeah, she's only another, let's call it 40 feet ahead of where Catrina Allen's drive ended up. So still a ways back for Paige. Of course, we all know how far Paige throws, so still going to have an opportunity to access this green potentially.
I would say she's about 350
Yeah,
from where she is.
I'm guessing she's more like 450, somewhere in that range. But it is downhill. Probably plays about 380 is my guess.
There we go. Split the difference.
Yeah.
Madison must have gotten a roll.
Yeah, I think it rolled out a little bit.
That is so fortunate.
Needs to stay away from those bunkers right there. Just needs to sit down. Oh, she's gotten past them, but that one's coming into play. Oh, just able to avoid
She
it.
is living on the edge today. Holy cow. She must have been talking to the disc golf gods this morning because they have been in her favor so far. But Madison needs to get back on track, and here we go. Paige just pitching out from over there on the left-hand side of the fairway.
The quick throwing Paige Bjerkaas.
We caught her. We found her.
Does she know there's cameras? Does she know there's cameras out there? She's just playing a casual round. I mean, she's just playing so quick, but that is her game. She's decisive in her decision making.
Yeah, I would throw her off, I would imagine, if she would to think about waiting for a camera. I think it's just keep going with the flow. Keep doing you, Paige. So here's Catrina's drive. Absolute crush. She's now just on the flat part of the fairway. She's really setting herself up for great opportunity to birdie this.
Yeah, and if we look at this scenario here, she's up. It's her turn. The green is just still kind of clearing at this point, but a lot of thoughts potentially going through Kat's head at this moment. This is what I was talking about. With a bigger lead, do you change your game plan? This is sort of the moment that she has to think about right now. There's some potential OB down there.
I think just throwing it up there just short of the OB green, pitching up to the basket, and that's a drop in birdie. I mean, that's as aggressive as she needs to be. We do see a little bit of the hazard sand traps, the OB hazard sand traps. But those are so small and easy to avoid. Wow, and really low, a lot of angle. She's going to be skipping into the trees.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying. I mean, how safe do you play it? You were saying just pitch it down there in front of the green, pitch it over towards the basket, and give yourself a birdie opportunity. She's now left it pretty far back. There is a good opening there as there's the cut through for the cart path, but still a little bit of hesitation there.
Yeah.
Catrina's shot.
I'm so surprised by that. I mean, I feel like that was just an errant shot. That I wouldn't have imagined that was part of the game plan that she was trying to do. All she needed to do was air it out to the right, bring it in, land right in the middle of the fairway. But a lot of power, but it looked like an early release. And at that angle, she was going skipping into the woods. So that's going to make it a tough up shot, but there's still an opportunity to save birdie.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think she was just trying to avoid any of that stuff at all costs, but you're right. It did just come out low and left, and she's left herself further back than she would like. You see Paige Pierce getting rid of the jacket. Should have a jacket removal counter. I think that's 3.
Needs full focus on these shots.
Yikes.
Yanks it over to the right.
Unable to get through the golf green. She's going to stop just short. So that's an OB for Paige Pierce, and just way too low. I mean, just low. She had all the height in the world to play with, and Just too low there.
Too low and with so much power. So there's just no chance for that disc to come back.
Oh boy.
Come on. Oh,
Oh, nice.
little bank shot off of the back edge.
And here we have Madison Walker.
Pretty close to that crater.
Yeah, as you said earlier, on the edge, playing it on the edge.
It's a nice angle to the basket. Going for it. You can drop it down. Nice body language, able to land on top of that hill. She'll have a 22-footer, but that's a really good position to be putting at this basket. That was a good move.
It was. And now we think about Kat's second shot, and not so bad, really. Now with her closest competitor throwing out of bounds. And that was, that was Paige's third shot. So now she's going to be lying 5. At best, bogey is what is possibly going to happen here. So Catrina back in the driver's seat.
And this is a storyline that we seem to be telling every single weekend with these two competitors. This is just how it happens when you're on the disc golf tour. And so not a bad angle. She's able to reach around, yep, about a 20-footer from there. Nice play. I'm going to head back over into the green and see where Paige is going to be taking her lie.
You're right, though, Val. It is the disc golf tour, and we're on the disc golf pro tour here. But these players playing 20, 25 events every year, and our job as commentators is to call each week. Paige doing okay there. She should be able to get in for bogey. As commentators, we call each week, but really the statistics are in a way judged in years here. And this year so far has been the year of Catrina Allen. Paige Pierce did win back in Jonesboro, but Kat has played extremely well all season long. And so we'll see if Paige at some point can kind of just break through that. I felt like Jonesboro was that little bit of a breakthrough, but honestly, it just seems as if Kat's confidence is really soaring at this point. We'll see. Still a lot to go. Once we get through hole 6, we'll see how hole 6 treats us. That's a tough one.
Exactly. It's still so early in this round. We're only on hole 5, but we are seeing, Kat continues with that momentum that she's built from yesterday's round, that confidence she has with playing this course. It's all up to Paige to see if she can get herself on track. She's showed such moments of greatness, but then when the door's wide open, she hasn't been able to capitalize. So still very, very early. So we will see how the storyline continues. But here's wow, look at this shot.
I know.
This is a trick shot if I've ever seen it.
So this was what we thought Madison was in a good position, but she just skipped off the little rise there and kicked down into this just terrible spot.
Oh, I thought that was going in. That was such a good run. Man, was a trick putt there, just popping it over that fallen tree branch. Gave it a great run.
Now we're going to have Paige Pierce. This is for her 6. She's gone out of bounds already. No gimme at all.
And this is a good look at the elevation up to the basket. Wow. Good save.
Solid putt. I mean, that was a really nice looking putt. Stepped up, slammed it in there. And now this will be Catrina Allen for birdie on this par 5.
We do know there's that drop off, so if she does miss or fly past, she's going to be having a tester putt. This is for birdie, so she needs to go for this.
Love getting outside and challenging yourself to become better? How about spending time with family and friends, or just marveling at the pure joy of flight? Then you've come to the right place at the right time. Join the PDGA.
And we just saw Paige Bjerkaas make that putt. Now we see Madison Walker stepping in, tapping her par in. We'll move over to hole 6. Break us down the very difficult hole 6, Val.
There's a lot to talk about for hole 6. It's 644 feet. It's a par 4, and we're taking our way through this tunnel shot here. But off to the right, there's a little sneaker route. You can go right off of the tee and land into that golf fairway, making it a little bit more wide open for this second shot as we approach the basket. The shot moves from left to right, so it's either an anhyzer or a sidearm shot to the basket. There's a golf green. There's a couple more of those sand trap hazards that come into play on the upshot. But this one is about the tee shot. Choosing which line to go for, whether it's the tunnel or the immediate hyzer out this little sneaker gap to the right.
Yeah, go to the right. Let's play it out to the right. That middle gap we've seen for our ladies players is just so difficult.
Right. And you were saying yesterday, I mean, you were going for the tunnel shot, and your most absolute perfect shot was landing at the very end of the tunnel. How far would that be?
Yeah, I mean, it's 350. It plays uphill. It's kind of a slog out of this bottom part of the course. It's like you rip one out of there, you think you just crushed one way up there, it goes 350 feet, but it's just kind of uphill just enough.
Yeah.
But I just think that, and we're going to see this view from Catrina, who, by the way, she was able to birdie, and now she's moved her lead to 6 shots. But I mean, this hyzer line is just calling. It's just calling their names. Throw it out there. Keep it in bounds.
Yeah, we did see Paige go out of bounds in the very first round. There is an OB line on the far right-hand side of this fairway, and it rides the whole way and then circles around the basket at the end. So if you do throw a little bit too straight, you can risk that out of bounds.
Yeah, we saw Bjerkaas, Pierce, and Allen all go out this right side, and it was only Madison Walker who decided to go up the middle, and it turned into a complete disaster. So let's see what Madison, if she's able to make the adjustment.
Sticking to her game plan, it looks like.
Executing it much better right in the middle of that left side fairway. No guts, no glory.
That was an awesome shot. And you can see she landed in the perfect, nice, green, grassy area. But then just about 15 feet short of that, you get the logs, you got bushes, you got sticks, prickers. And so if you don't land in the right spot, it makes it so tricky for your second. Congratulations to Madison for showing us up.
Oh, man, and Paige Pierce catching the tiniest little branch. Oh, man. I'm not sure. We'll take a quick break, and we'll catch up with her.
Mitch, you want to take left? I'll take right.
Hey everybody, this is Kevin Jones. I'm here with my brand new Prodigy VP3 V2 backpack. And I'm loving this thing a lot. It's extremely lightweight. It's carrying all the discs I could ever ask for. It's pretty sturdy and durable. I've got my 2 putters up here, no problem. Room for a towel if need be. It's really lightweight, it's extremely efficient, and for all you, it's extremely affordable. So come check it out.
And that is the disc of Paige Pierce. Not such a bad position. Super unfortunate to catch that little tiny branch. I think it's now just a chip out. This is a position play for Paige Pierce now.
And that's a good pitch out. And I'm just thinking of what's going through Paige's head right now. You know, things aren't falling her way right now. They're not working the way she would want. Getting a little frustrated. And she might start to just force things to happen. You know, that tee shot, it was just off in the woods a little bit. I'm glad that she played a nice safe shot, but we could see that start to build up throughout the round, just forcing things to happen instead of just letting them happen and playing the course as it should and letting the shots come in line as they should. But there's Paige Bjerkaas playing it pretty much as she wrote it up in her mind. Nice layup. She's going to have an Anheuser shot to the basket.
Now we have a 6-stroke lead, and we've played now 5 holes for Catrina. We saw her throw the roller yesterday. She's reenacting that right now. Be a big, it'll be an interesting decision to see what she does here. I believe now she's just lining up the turnover. She dropped the disc that she was reenacting the roller with, and now just looking to throw the turnover.
This is a risky shot to go for it. This is a big shot.
Oh, there we go. And that's, you know, she doesn't know what's happened, but she is in the, no, she's not safe. She's OB. She's still anxiously looking for it, but it is OB.
I mean, that's a big drive to clear that green. So you do see the players laying up because it is such a risk to go for it. And it's a huge golf green.
It is a big golf green, and it's uphill. If you hit the green, the one thing about the greens here, they're super sticky. They're not, you know, they water these greens a lot, so they're not dry in any way. Even though the claim to fame for the Glen Eagles Golf Club here in San Francisco is the fastest muni greens in the city.
Really?
Yeah. So, but
quite a reputation.
Right. At any rate, interesting shot there by Catrina. I think it would have been best to just lay it up, and as you said, just play it for par. You know, obviously she could. You know, she still has many chances, and you know, obviously the favorite to win this tournament right now. But something little like that can change the confidence real quick.
And I wonder what was going through her mind to even change up from the roller yesterday. The roller worked out perfect for her.
Yeah.
It is a risky shot, but it did have enough of that speed and distance just clear that out about the green that she had landed in today. So it's an interesting play to just change up your strategy on something that worked in the previous round.
Yeah, the way I see it, if you're not going to go for the roller, which is the go for the green shot, you might as well lay it up. Because what does it matter if you're up there 80 feet from the pin or 110 feet from the pin? It really doesn't change it. And here we have Paige Pierce, who has left herself far enough back to where she's going to be taking this hyzer line. Super dangerous. She's got it back in bounds. Oh, executing that nicely. Going to give herself 15 feet left for the par.
You saw that same exact shot just hang her up in the previous round. So it's nice to see Paige changing it up a little bit for the better. Learned from her mistakes. And we're going to head over to Madison. This is for her third shot. That does not count.
Accidental. It was an accidental drop. Wasn't a throw. Although my standard joke in out on a group would have said, I would have said stroke.
You know what's interesting, Nate? As I was reading the new rule changes for this year, they did change up that rule to where that's not counted anymore as a stroke.
Right.
It's not a practice throw anymore. If you're throwing your disc to another player or to your bag, if it's less than 5 meters, I believe. So I think that's a good rule change up because it was just a little bit too nitpicky out there. So
yeah,
other rules that we need to pay more attention to, and that is not one of them.
Absolutely. I think that's a good change for sure.
And so we've got a couple of tester putts. We've got, we see that, there's one outside the circle there. So there's going to be a lot of putting for these players. Seems that everybody is sitting at par except for Catrina Allen. She is going to be taking that OB lie as she grabs her disc.
At best, we're looking at a bogey here for Catrina because she's now back here lying. This is now going to be her fourth shot. So she's lying 3 with the penalty. Now this is her fourth shot.
Is that a little? Nope, that is perfectly placed. So that will be for bogey. Everyone else is putting for par.
So if Paige Pierce is able to cash in this putt, we will see a 1-stroke back gained by Paige Pierce, which will put us into the exact same position as basically when we started. We did start with the 5-stroke lead.
And we got word that this guy with this big old camera is not part of our crew, but might be shooting for ESPN. So if you've been waiting for disc golf to be on ESPN a little bit more frequently, this could be the chance. Let's see if Paige Bjerkaas, we need some big putts to show off on ESPN here. So that will be Paige tapping in for her bogey. A nice shot from Paige Pierce, putting for par.
And there's Catrina Allen tapping in for her bogey. Paige Pierce did tap in for her par. So again, as I was saying, back to where we started, a 5-stroke lead through 6 holes for Catrina Allen. Just 12 holes left in this tournament. And here we are on hole 7, Val.
Hole 7, it's 483 feet. It's a par 4. Starts off with shooting out this little bit of a gap. Players are going to go for a big Anheuser shot, but really you just want to land in the middle of the fairway or even off to the left. As we can see right now, we're turning the corner quite dramatically to the basket as it's tucked right behind this barrier of cypress trees. So right at the basket. So if you're not able to make that turn, at least get your second shot even with the basket so that you're able to make a putt. But this is just a tricky shot, a little bit of elevation gain the entire way. So just makes this whole play so much longer than 480 feet.
Yeah, and we just see here our top 10 leaderboard. There you can see it. Paige Bjerkaas, and Madison Walker in our battle for third place, although bringing in a couple other scores as they sort of drop down just a little bit there. But Kona Star Paynes is 2 under par through 7 holes. She is our hot scorer on the course right now, 2 strokes ahead of a slew of even pars. But we are here on hole 7, our Savage ultimate hole.
And not getting enough turn on that. She is disappointed, but it's a nice position still. She's farther away from the basket than she needs to be, and that is the pitfall of landing so far to the left. But she should have a good position. She's not in the trees.
Oh boy, this is, oh man.
Just one of them days.
Yeah, just one of them days. That's the only thing you don't want to do is hit the big tree on the way out of this little gap. Paige Pierce has done that.
And really, if that shot would have flexed out, I mean, that still wouldn't have been the best shot. But Catrina hugging it off to the right-hand side.
Yeah, watching it with a very watchful eye. A little bit to the right, but she is in bounds. I think that's the perfect shot, right in the middle of the fairway, just on the left side of center. Nice shot by Paige Bjerkaas. We'll take a quick break, and we'll catch up with Paige Pierce.
If you guys like the H3 V2, but maybe you're looking for just a little bit more flip up and glide, the H4 V2 is gonna be your disc. I'm absolutely loving it, and it filled a spot in my bag immediately.
Disc golf is a relatively young sport, but its popularity makes it one of the fastest growing pastimes in the world. The PDGA is a not-for-profit, worldwide player organization dedicated to promoting the sport. Like a long drive off the tee?
And here we see the live Paige Pierce. Just has to play this for par now. It was really not a good tee shot at all. And so there we are. You know, it's one of those things where we've seen a lot of great comebacks from Paige Pierce, especially when she's playing well. But this 2019 season, her game has been up and down, just like this round so far, making mistakes that we don't typically see from Paige Pierce, seeming a little bit nervous, not so much confident. Of course, you know, a lot of things can still potentially happen here. But boy, what a really just not a good shot at all off that 7th tee.
No, and like I was saying in the last hole, just kind of forcing the shots to happen. She doesn't look comfortable. She doesn't look confident in the shot. She just looks like she's trying to make something happen. And sometimes the days they just don't work out like that. Sometimes the shots just don't fly out of your hand like you would expect. And Paige Pierce is such a veteran, and she's been in this position so many times before. And I don't think it's nerves, but it's just she knows what she's capable of, and she knows that she could play aggressive and catch up to Catrina, and she's really forcing that to happen today.
Yeah, I don't think it's nerves in the normal sense, I think, but there is probably a little bit of nervous energy, I would say, in the sense that you know, we've seen Paige Pierce start off seasons with 5, 6, 8 wins in a row. And to my knowledge, she's only just won a couple of events this year, been in a few battles and been on the losing end of those battles. And as that happens, the nervous energy starts to build. I mean, I've gone years without wins, and I'll tell you, the nervous energy does build over that time. It is something that kind of gets to you after a while. And a very decorated champion like Paige, that we could be seeing just a little bit of that. But you're right, she is a veteran, and she's a great player, and
It's so funny how we talk about this. I mean, because we have been in this position. We've been in battles like this, knowing we're the only person to stop somebody from winning a tournament. We're knowing we're the only people that could put the pressure on. And so we've been in this position many, many times before and understand what Paige might be going through right now. But here we have Catrina well in the lead.
And
this
just
is
a few feet from the OB line. I just have to mention that. You can see her right foot.
Yeah.
That's an OB stake there. So she's throwing over out of bounds. The sidearm. Oh, nice roll back. So she's going to have a birdie opportunity. That was very, very fortunate for our leader.
And I think that was a shot we saw that Madison threw yesterday, but just a little bit better camera angle so we can see what actually the shot looks like. And that, yeah, now that I look back on it, Madison threw the correct shot. She actually threw a little bit more to the left and worked her way around those barrier trees. Nice to see a little bit of a gallery growing this morning. Everybody coming out to watch the battle. So here's Paige's third shot. She needs to get that up next to the basket so she can save her par, but it's still a tricky shot.
Third hole in a row. Boy, giving it just a little bit of a baby run there. She'll have that putt for par. Third hole in a row now that we've talked about Paige Pierce just 2/3 up the fairway after 2 shots. So really a lot of scrambling. She made a bogey back on the 5th hole. She was able to save par on the 6th, and now looking like she's going to potentially save par on the 7th as well. But man, the 7th is a birdie hole. I mean, it's a hole you want to get your 3 on. And so, you cannot pass up these birdie opportunities, especially when you're chasing down a 5-stroke lead.
Madison really taking her time. She wants to get this birdie. She's about 45 feet. And trying to show off for us here, but not able to capitalize on that one. Still many chances for Madison to cash another big putt as she did yesterday. You can see where Catrina's shot landed. After a little kick off a tree. I mean, she's in perfect position. Nothing in her way.
Yeah, this is only a 18-foot putt. Very makeable. Oh, and just that's the first putt we've seen Catrina miss in that way. The only other ways we've seen her miss a putt is dead center in the middle of the pole, just a little bit low or a little bit high. That one was a pull high. And now she's got a little bit of a putt coming back, about 12 feet. Boy, and that one just sneaking up over that rim. So maybe a little bit of nervous energy from our leader as well. But really no harm, no foul. Easily able to just move on.
Just took a few extra seconds on both of those.
Mm-hmm.
And that has not been the putting stride that she's had this weekend so far.
Oh, and Paige Bjerkaas unable to make that putt happen. A little bit of jostling still happening from our lead card. And there's Paige Pierce, able to save her par. So everything is going to pretty much stay exactly as we started. So nothing changing after 7 holes. We'll move over to the 8th tee. Here we are on hole 8, Val.
Hole 8, par 4, 490 feet. We can see the OB walls again, as we've seen the 2 previous days. Those are marking the front edge of 2 boomerang out of bounds areas. We're going to see our players throwing up to that second landing area, and then for their second shot, trying to get up to the basket for their birdie putt. The elevation continues to grow as the closer we get up to the basket. And the OB continues to grow. There is OB on the left-hand side and the right-hand side with that dirt road So players have a lot of OB to contend with, but we did see a good amount of birdies on this hole so far.
Yeah, you're right. We have. And if history tells us anything, we'll see Kat and Paige go for the longer shot, so going over all of the OB. And we will see Madison and Paige Bjerkaas play short of that second OB area. If that's if they continue to stick with the same strategy as yesterday.
That's right. And the back edge of these boomerang out of bounds are just flags. So I think that's really fortunate for the players. So if they do go for those longer shots, like we will see from Paige and Catrina, they don't have a wall to fly over. But first on the tee is Madison.
And Val, you've made mention of this a few times. The walls are on the front sides of the OB, so they can use those walls as visual references to say, okay, I need to, if I'm laying up to that second wall, I just need to get to that wall. And if I'm going over it, I need to get over both walls with about another 40 feet of distance. And so that's kind of where we're standing here. And we know Paige Pierce is going for that longer shot over both of the OB areas.
And so I guess her visual is to land short of that bunker.
Yep, she's going at it right now. And she's done a beautiful job at that. That is in an absolutely perfect position. Paige has done that all 3 rounds and unable to make the second shot very easy. She was able to birdie this hole yesterday, but I want to see just a nestle shot from Paige Pierce. I want to see her. Oh, and Catrina just able to get over that OB, but she is in bounds. I want to see a shot from Paige Pierce where she's underneath the basket. We've been watching her now for 3 days. I have not seen a park job from Paige Pierce in 3 days for a birdie. And so we'll see if she's able to do that here. Oh, and look at that. Paige Bjerkaas with a big smile on her face going over both OBs. Nice job, Paige. Inbounds. We'll take a quick break and see you in the fairway.
At Dynamic Discs, we offer affordable custom stamping to help your company, club, event, or tour stand out from the rest. We can use your own design, or we'll work with you to design a stamp that captures the tone of your event. We'll get your discs stamped quickly and on their way within 3 weeks. If you're ordering for an event, you may qualify for one of our sponsorship tiers as well. Discs are listed at our best pricing with a minimum 50 disc order with a 10 disc minimum per mold. We have junior and mini discs available as well. For all the information you need, head over to dynamicdiscs.com or email custom@dynamicdiscs.com.
We just saw Madison taking a little bit of relief from the wall. She is inbounds, but just needs a little bit more space for her follow through. And shout out to Calvin Heimberg for caddying for her.
Yeah, we've seen that throughout this Disc Golf Pro Tour. Calvin and Madison trading off caddying duties. They are both from Florida, and they've been traveling together. Oh, look at this. This is a more aggressive play by Madison, keeping it inbounds. I'd like to see that from Madison. She's yesterday she quickly stepped up. In fact, our cameras weren't even able to catch it, kind of pulling a little bit of a Paige Bjerkaas on us, and threw just up short of that green, and was then able to chip up and save her par. But she's gone a little bit more aggressive. We saw Paige just making a mark there. She was not out of bounds, though. She was just seeing if she could get any more space away from that line. She is entitled to 1 meter away from any OB line, even if it is closer to the basket.
Might as well take that relief. Give it yourself a few extra inches. Oh, and I like this. Oh, get up there. That's a good shot from Paige.
And it's a great side of the basket to be on.
Great side of the basket. It's nice and flat and level with the basket. It's an elevated basket, but if you do end up a little bit to the left-hand side or short, it just makes it that much steeper of an incline.
Yep, and now we see Cat. And that's that Nestle Quick type shot I'm talking about. That's a tap-in pretty much for Catrina, and we haven't seen a lot of that from Paige, putting a lot of pressure on that putter. And let's see if Paige can get one up the hill here and within close range.
And if it just drops right there, it's a bit of a Nestle Quick for you, Nate.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's within about let's just call it 11 feet, elevated basket. So our lead card here, our featured card, playing this 8th hole quite nicely. And maybe a little bit of the nerves starting to release here. We're almost halfway through our final round. We'll see a little bit of a backup as they work their way back up to the top of the hill and play the big downhill par 4, the 9th hole. So we'll see just a little bit of a break, give us a chance to react with what we've seen so far, what we can potentially look forward to see.
Here's Madison outside circle 2.
She was outside in circle 2. You had that perfectly right, Val.
Thanks, Nate.
And she just a little bit low there. That was, that was always going to be a tough putt. Scary one to go for, that's for sure. But otherwise, we have 3 birdie chances here. A little bit of a, again, we talk about the battle for third. Sarah Hokum is just 1 stroke behind Paige and 2 strokes behind Madison. But this putt could go a long ways towards taking that 3rd place position.
Wow, and our putt is just looking so strong right now. And that was huge. I mean, she's sitting in solo 3rd.
So Paige able to tap hers in, and there's Catrina able to do the same. So 3 birdies and a par. Great play by our group here on hole 8. Let's take a look at the 9th hole, the big downhill 9th hole.
Hole 9, another beautiful view of the city, but this hole is a par 4, 747 feet. Starts off with a little chute that they have to clear, but it's just a big crushing downhill shot. Players want to land about in this area to give themselves a nice straight look at the basket. This is great birdie opportunity. I mean, it's all about the drive and getting enough distance and then taking the pressure off of that upshot. But it does get tricky. I think players just misjudge the distance when it comes to near and around the basket. And it does slope down just a little bit. And when you have just a straight shot, it's always about the amount of power you're putting on it. And I feel like that's just a really difficult shot, that touch shot, to judge the distance. So we'll see if they're able to put their upshots next to the basket. Let's see if Paige can do it again. We know Catrina's upshots have been on point. So this is a good birdie opportunity.
Yeah, you're right. It is a good birdie opportunity. And here we are, folks. We've played 8 holes. We know there's a little bit of a backup. We're going to potentially cover a little bit of the chase card as they're just getting ready to tee off on this 9th hole. So we've played 8. We are in the final round of the 2019 San Francisco Open, presented by AbsolutXtracts and powered by Innova Champion Disc. This live coverage is brought to you by MVP Disc Sports. And for all of you that don't know, I'm Nate Doss. This is Valerie Jenkins. And we've seen some up and down play today, a little bit of nervous play. It is the final round of a big tournament, a big swing, a big start of events. This is just the beginning of a long run of events that none of our players will be taking off at all. We have the Masters Cup next weekend. We have the Portland Open 2 weekends away. Then the Rose City Open in Portland, and as well as then the Beaver State Fling, ending a run of 5 straight tournaments. So we're excited to be here with you. Thank you for joining us here on this Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all those mothers out there. We certainly do appreciate you. Yeah, it's the same situation. We've got a 5-stroke lead for Catrina Allen. They're both 1 under par through 8 holes. The battle for third is a tie between Madison and Paige Bjerkaas. And Sarah Hokum has an outside chance of coming in and sneaking in there. Kona Star Panis is 3 under par through 9 holes. So nice play by Kona. We haven't talked a lot about her this season, but nice round for her going. Jessica Weiss is now 1 under par for this final round as well.
Yeah, it's nice to see some players, in this final round really picking it up, giving themselves that last chance, that kind of redemption round on this insanely challenging course. And you mentioned a little bit of nervous play. It seems like Catrina Allen is still so steady and confident, and there's no it proves everything why Catrina's in that first spot. She's at 14 down. So she has 5 strokes over second place. And with that confidence, she's just soaring. It's all up to Paige to put the pedal to the metal right now. But Paige has been just up and down throughout this round. And just with her drives haven't been on. Putts haven't been exactly there. And the upshots aren't leaving her close enough to just drop it in. So she just needs to get that game back in line. But Catrina Allen is just felt so confident. She's playing this course really, really well. And really, it's all a matter of just crushing big shots, landing them in the middle of the fairway. And she's just putting herself in perfect position each time.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Yeah. Really, Paige Pierce, I don't know, it's been the drives to me from kind of what I've seen, especially there on 5, 6, and 7. All 3 of those drives hitting early. Whether it was unfortunate or not, that's just kind of the situation. Paige had opportunities on a lot of those holes, even had an opportunity for a 2-stroke swing back on 4. But this is the situation we're in. She just needs to be confident in her game. This course lays out really well for her. And, I think she just has to kind of let it come to her. I said the exact same thing about Simon Lizotte yesterday. Just stay patient. Don't push it. Don't rush it. A stroke here is it's not the end of the world. At the end of the day, you could still be on top, but we'll see. We'll see. The time, the ticker is counting down on those opportunities.
Yeah, we're making our way halfway through. We're on hole 9 right now, but just looking at the scorecard, Catrina Allen was bogey free yesterday up until this point, and she. Now looking at her scorecard today, she got a bogey on hole 4. She got a bogey on hole 6, but has had 3 birdies to kind of bring her back to that -1. So her and Paige are actually at the same score right now for the round. But Catrina Allen, as we mentioned to start this, yesterday she shot a 10 down. So yesterday was absolutely flawless.
Yeah, course record 10 down, by the way.
Course record 10 down. And so yesterday was that confidence builder. So it's put her in a really good position. So she still feels confident in that game. And it's clearly proving that she's able to maintain each and every one of these holes, regardless if there's a little bit of an error, might shake her up a little bit. But we're heading back to check out Elaine King in the fairway of hole 9.
For everybody out there that is not familiar with the name Elaine King, Elaine is a 5-time disc golf world champion in the open division. She's one of the crown jewels of the sport of disc golf and has been for a very long time. It's always great to see Elaine come out and still competing at a very high level, being in this chase card here at a top event. And so it's great to see her out on the course and playing well with our younger players.
Nice graphic
boy,
there.
that was a little That was a little something, wasn't it?
We're bringing out the high technology for Sunday's round.
Keep us on our toes in the booth. Nice. There we go. So a little bit of a conversation going on. I believe Sarah Holcomb has gone out of bounds. It's sort of just a conversation of trying to establish exactly where it was. Now she's made that, she put her mini marker down.
Well, now this is around minute. Yeah, it's pretty tricky.
And we can almost put money on the fact that this is her drive. She was throwing sidearm off this on the first round, and this is the fading away to the right with a sidearm. Such a difficult sidearm hole.
It's so tough, and with that, how dramatic it drops off and declines toward the basket. Gravity is just feeding your disc to go that natural flight, and for a sidearm, it's off to the right. And so that's really tricky. So if you're not able to turn it over enough, do end up out of bounds.
So just a little reaction there. We could just sort of almost guess what Sarah was feeling. And a reminder to everybody, Sarah is the defending champion of this event, played very well last year, able to hang on and take the title. But this year, it will not be a back-to-back championship, but still opportunities for Sarah to get some confidence going for the Masters Cup next weekend.
And the Masters Cup does finish on a golf course, so that's one similarity, but playing De La Viega, I mean, that course is unlike any other, and if anybody knows anything about that course, it would be you, Nate. But that course is so unique in just the way that you play, the shots that you throw, the up shots that, you have to land about 20 feet short of the basket and skip up to the pin. So that plays different than this course where you just have to attack. You have to make sure those shots are close.
Yeah, I certainly know how to take second place at the Masters Cup, so nobody wants any advice from me. We should maybe be able to get Paul Macbeth, who's the 4-time champion of the or 4 or 5-time champion. At some point, you just kind of forget.
Yeah,
but anyways, it is exciting to be in this part of the country. To me, this is the part of the tour that I think all of the players really, really look forward to. Of course, there's so many great events throughout the year, but the West Coast is always fun for everybody to come out to. Lots of adventures, beach days, bonfires, all that good stuff during the midweek. And then great disc golf, super challenging disc golf with different terrains and all kinds of fun stuff going on. So yeah, it's definitely a fun time of the year. Now we see where Sarah landed. This is going to be for par.
Wow, yeah, and that was a huge, huge putt. Oh, wow. Even to see where Elaine landed after her upshot, she's put herself still with a huge putt toward the basket, and just a layup for her. She's smart enough to know better.
Yeah, and again, it's one of those things. We talked a lot about this yesterday, Val, but the way this course lays out, it's no surprise that we've seen this sort of elongation. And back on the tee real quickly, here we go. We see Paige Pierce immediately step out of that shot. I think just hyzer, and really a fine shot as far as playing the hole for birdie. She's right there in the middle. But she wanted to get a little bit more out of it, that's for sure. When we were talking about just the way this course plays, there's just a couple of our players here in our FPO division that have just a super advantage. And Catrina Allen and Paige Pierce are those two players, and I think just a smart play by Catrina, avoiding any sort of disaster, staying well into the safe area.
Yeah. It's a decent shot. I mean, way far away from the out of bounds. But for me, I'd rather land right in the middle. I mean, when wouldn't you? But that just gives you a better look at the basket for the upshot. And here's Paige really holding that line on the right-hand side, letting the disc do the work. And I think she's going to be in good position. Yep, especially with that little bit of a roll back in the middle.
So we are back now live, and this is Madison, and we're live with our lead card. We had just a little bit of a backup there, saw some play from our chase card. Beautiful shot there by Madison as well. She's going to give herself an opportunity. We'll take a quick break, and we'll see everybody down at the bottom of the hill.
When you order from Dynamic Discs, we do our best from start to finish. First, we receive your order from the website and print out the packing slip detailing the specific items you selected. Then, your order is pulled directly from the shelves, packed in a cardboard box to prevent bending during transit, and quickly on its way to you with free shipping. For every purchase online with Dynamic Discs, you'll receive rewards points so you can save on your next order. We'll work with you to make sure you get the exact disc you're looking for. For anything from Dynamic Discs, Latitude 64, or Westside Discs, head to dynamicdiscs.com.
And now we see the course, or we see the crowd making its way down this big major hill here of the course. If you look in the background there, there's the clubhouse. Those flags at the very top of the hill are about even with T1. T1's about 50 feet to the right of that, and that's the 18th basket. So not too long, we'll be crowning a champion there at the 18th basket.
And they've really made it a stadium up there. So they have some bleachers set up so you can sit up on that perch and watch players play this hole 9. You see players come up and play hole 8, and you see them come in on 18, as well as teeing off on hole 1. But what a stadium it is for the finish. And as the day goes on, just continues to fill up with more and more spectators. And so a little bit of a stepping on her disc there, but yanks it off to the right, kicks her to the left, but she had a decent view of the basket from where she was. So we'll see now. Paige Bjerkaas, there she is, behind the tree. So she landed, this is a really nice position. She's landed right in the middle of the fairway here. But again, putting yourself in that straight shot that I was talking about. So judging the distance and the power that you put on the disc is really important.
Putting just a little bit too much turn. And just quickly back to Catrina's shot. You know, she was pulled it high and right, hit short. Doesn't look like she's going to make a birdie. So Paige Pierce has to be sort of feeling as if this is the opportunity for her to take a stroke. And that's all you can do is just try to take one at a time. And now Madison in beautiful position. The one thing I'll say, from here, it does, there's a tiny little rise right in front of our players. And then it'll slope all the way down and away to the green, and then it continues to slope. It's just the tiniest slope, but it makes the green just a little bit quick. Oh!
Nice.
Replay it.
Making us yell again in the booth.
Madison Walker is just the replay master. Watch this thing. boom, hits the front of the basket. Incredible shot by Maddie Walker.
That would have been such a sick eagle. I mean, that would have been the only women's eagle this weekend on this hole. Wow. Well, let's see if Paige can follow it up. Who knows? Paige needs to make something happen today.
Paige just needs to nestle this in. Done. Oh, man, not great at that. She's going to have a 28-foot putt, but Madison Walker, the replay queen, giving us so many great looks at the basket. Nice job, Madison. Impressive stuff.
If that would have hit just about a foot shorter, that would have been all chains. That would have been in the basket. But amazing, amazing shot. So it does put herself in a good position. We know that everyone else is just on outside the circle, and we see Catrina lining up. She is outside circle 2 by a ways. So this is just going to be a layup. And it's a par 4, so she'll be laying up for her par if she's able to get it nestled up to the basket.
Oh, and she's not able to do that at all. I mean, she's inside the circle. It's not nestled at all. I mean, it's not horrible, but that's definitely a tester putt right there. So, you know, a little bit of tight play here. You know, that little break up there on the top of the hill. Things.
That was just a fluffed.
Yeah, I mean, I would consider that a fluffed upshot there. But also Paige Pierce not locked in right next to the basket. So we'll see if Paige is able to make her putt. And Paige just leaving it off to the left. And she's going to have a tester putt as well. But, man, we're still just, gosh, Madison Walker so close to an eagle. And it really didn't kick too far away either.
She checked to see if she dented that cage. It might affect Paige's putt, but here's Paige Pierce. This is putting for birdie right now. And she needed that. The door again was wide open for her to gain a stroke on Catrina. As we know, she is putting for par, but it's still a tester putt. And look how far that eagle run skipped Madison Walker. And just low. Turns it in.
Unable, yeah, just unable to save or complete the birdie there.
Turns it into a drop in par. We have Paige Bjerkaas putting for par.
Yeah, this is that's definitely. We were just hearing she is such a solid putter. It's unfortunate putting there on this 9th hole for really 3 of our players now, and now a lot of pressure put on Catrina to make this putt. And completely missing the basket. I don't know if it even nicked the basket at all.
Did you see that putting stretch? Like just her tempo. That was such an interesting tempo.
And we are back. That's 3 pars and 1 bogey on the 9th. And we're going to move over to hole 10. Here we are about hole 10.
Hole 10, it's 965 feet. It's a par 5. Starts off with a big booming drive, but you still have to be accurate and land in the middle of the fairway because there's OB on the right and the left-hand side. But it's a second drive that you can really unleash toward the basket. And you'll find yourself weaving through those trees there. And we did see Paige Pierce at an eagle look in the first round. So we can expect her to give it a run as long as she's able to put that drive in bounds this time. But 2 big crushes and you can give yourself a look. But this is a good birdie opportunity nonetheless.
Yeah, absolutely. When we thought the last hole was a good birdie opportunity as
They
well.
are.
And, our group really not playing it all that well. In fact, I said 2 pars and 1 bogey. We actually had 2 bogeys and 2 pars there on that 9th hole.
And no out of bounds.
And no out of bounds. Yeah, just it's all around the putting green. Not sure if there was a little bit of breeze that we just could not get a sense of because we are here in the booth, but we were looking at the flag. It was waving a little bit, but it wasn't like it was blowing hard in any one direction.
It was just everyone's form there. We saw Catrina Allen. She has been testing different types of forms throughout the season, and this weekend we've seen a unique form of hers, just looking so casual as she steps up to the basket and just extends her arm, and pretty much every putt has gone in. The putt that we just saw was a putt that I've seen in previous years where she goes back on her back foot, lifts her front toe, and kind of does like a wobble, but shifts her momentum. And I always just think that's so tough. I think the momentum should stay on the front foot and push everything forward. So interesting to see her fall back on techniques of the past with, maybe it's just repetition. Maybe it's just, and we're seeing, Paige Pierce get a little bit lucky there while I was talking, but holds it off to the right-hand side, kicks her back into the fairway.
Yeah, let's just put that at 4 now. Really tough drives. Oh, Madison Walker, this is just beautiful. Look at the camera work and a nice finish right in the middle. Paige Pierce getting insanely fortunate right there, kicking back in the fairway. That thing was gone OB, and now she's back in the middle of the fairway, so still a birdie opportunity for her on this par 5. And here's Kat. Oh, that looks beautiful. She's got it going right down the middle. Good speed, good control. So there you go. Catrina Allen, our leader, right in the middle.
And really, that had that hyzer angle the whole time flying, but just enough forward push so that it carried out all that spin and didn't spin and kick her out of bounds, as we've seen troublesome players in previous rounds. But they're off and running, and we will catch them in the fairway in just a minute.
Zuka is now producing limited edition color choices. Zuka can add custom embroidery to the front and/or sides of the bag. Zuka is now producing limited edition color choices. Zuka can add custom embroidery to the front and/or sides of the bag.
And we're back in the fairway. This is Paige Pierce. I think it says a lot because Paige Pierce is just barely short of where the other competitors' drives landed, and Paige hit the basket. Oh, she's got a nice, or hit a tree halfway up the fairway. Look at this shot. Incredible.
Are you kidding me?
Let's get a replay on that. Look at the flight of this thing here on the Zuka replay. There it is right there. Look at how beautiful the flight is, the big skip. She's going to be having an eagle opportunity. Oh, man. And this is Madison's disc in the air. What an incredible shot, Val.
Oh, sorry, Madison, we missed that shot, but we had to see that shot again from Paige. She threw that well over 450 feet. That was an absolute crush and a huge save. Wow. So impressive to see Paige and Paige Bjerkaas right there following it up. But that's what normal throws look like right there. What Paige Bjerkaas just threw, you know, trying to get on the edge of the trees there or trying to get just inside. But wow.
Incredible. Yeah, absolutely incredible. Man, there's the excitement we're looking for, and it only takes just one shot.
Look at that tailwind pick up as we see Catrina's ponytail. Oh, and she's throwing it very low. And with the tailwind, it's going to hyzer it out.
Good skip. Good skip.
Skip it through. But yeah, with the tailwind, it just knocks it down.
Yeah, she's lined up right in the big gap. You can see it there, the largest gap. But man, what a shot by Paige Pierce. Let's see if she can solidify this eagle. If she's able to do that, you know, who knows? That's another potential stroke that we could see gained. And it's you know, by the way, folks, we just want you to know we're not rooting for anything. We just call it like we see it. But when we see a shot like that from Paige Pierce, it's truly incredible.
Yeah,
but still,
but I think it
Catrina
makes
Allen,
entertainment value.
Right.
You know, you never want to see anybody running away with the tournament. You want to see the underdog come back and put some pressure on at least, and tighten that gap and make it more exciting as we get toward these last few holes of the tournament. And you know, there's still plenty of time. We're only on the 10th hole. She is just now what, 4 strokes back. 4 strokes,
yeah.
And so there's still plenty of time.
Yeah, no, you're right. There is. And with a shot like that, that could mean a lot of a lot here. For all of our fans looking at home, Paige Pierce just took a really good, fortunate kick back into the middle of the fairway, and then just an incredible second shot. She has an eagle putt on this 10th hole, but just 4 strokes behind Catrina Allen, who's still playing well. We've seen a little bit of waver in her game today, but ultimately she's still the leader. She still has a 4-stroke lead, and the tournament is still in her hands if she wants it. We're back now on the course with Madison Walker. This is her 3rd shot. Sort of a tricky side of the fairway to be on. There's a couple of low cypress branches, and just have.
I was waiting to see which gap she was going to go for, because that's the one she chose. It was more of a straight route, and so she would have had to flex that sidearm to really allow it to fly all the way there, but land close to the basket. So it's a tough spot. Here's Paige Bjerkaas throwing her 3rd shot. And again, not putting it very close to the basket. There's the flag for the circle's edge. I mean, she had all the opportunity to put that right underneath the basket, but again, leaving herself a tester.
Speed control, everything. And I'll tell you, just a little note on that. Now we'll see our leader, Catrina, with now her 3rd shot, but speed control has been a big issue for really all of the players. Oh, and Kat leaving it short as well. Oh, man, that tailwind. The tailwind, even though it's just slight, just sort of slapped that down. And so now she's going to have a tester putt from outside the circle. We'll call that 33, 34 feet, somewhere right in there, maybe just inside 32, 31, somewhere in there. So, yeah. One of those 4 numbers.
Yeah.
But we see Madison. Speed control has been an issue for this entire group. Really, besides Catrina. Yesterday, Catrina's speed control was awesome. She had a lot of tap-in birdies. I mean, one of the reasons she was able to shoot a 10 under par in that 2nd round. And look at this. And this tells us how close Paige Pierce is, because we're just at the edge of the circle here for Paige Bjerkaas, and we still have not got to Paige Pierce's 2nd shot.
There's always a little bit of wind on this basket, and we see that it's blowing directly at Paige Bjerkaas. Oh,
Oh,
nice.
beautiful putt there.
And you know when you release it at that flat height, the perfect height in a headwind, it's just going to carry the disc in there. So nice camera work to see behind the shot and nice release. And again, this is proving how close Paige Pierce's second shot is, as Catrina Allen is now throwing her
fourth shot. This is for birdie. You can see Paige Pierce's drive just to the left there. High and left, so that's now hit the top of the basket. She hasn't gone too far away. It rolled just a little bit, but probably only about 8-10 feet. And here we see Paige Pierce. Right now, the advice I could give Paige Pierce: slow that heart rate down. Take your time. Be confident. And here we go. This is for eagle, folks. And there it is. Look at the confident walk. We'll see the Zuka replay.
an eagle.
An eagle after hitting a tree off the tee. Look at how solid that putt was. She did look very much under control there.
She just had 2 Zuka replays on the same hole. I mean, that's how you know she got an eagle. That's how you know you've done well. But man, maybe she needed a little bit shorter of a drive. I gave her 2 chances to get that eagle.
When I need to check the wind, I just let out my hair.
Disc golf is 90% mental. The other 10% also mental.
If you want to make new friends on the course, pick up someone's disc in the fairway by accident.
Stay getting birdies, my friends.
So here we are now. Catrina Allen has tapped in that putt for par, but Paige Pierce has eagled this 10th hole. And here we go, back 9 of a big championship. Here's hole 11, Val.
Hole 11, we're in this stretch of par 3s. Hole 11 is 302 feet. It works its way uphill, but the shot goes from left to right, excuse me. So it's a huge sidearm, but we're going to see a lot of these players throwing the Anheuser shot. It's a really tough angle. You have to throw it high enough that it can carry up the elevation of this fairway, but at the same time not crank it over too much so that you end up in the woods on the right. We haven't seen anybody park this just yet. We've seen a lot of shots just on circle's edge, so leaving big putts. But yeah, it is within birdie range. The distance is right there, but it's just really tough to get close to the basket.
So quickly playing here. Here's Paige Pierce. She snapped this one over and threw a thrower yesterday. Ooh, able to put it up inside the circle. And here we go, folks. I mean, if you're just joining us, we have now seen Paige Pierce eagle the 10th hole. We have just 8 holes left in this championship, and it's now just a 2-stroke lead for Catrina Allen, who started the day with a 5-stroke lead. We said it when we came on the air a few hours back now. One of the most difficult things to do is to lead a tournament with a big lead, and how do you adjust your game plan? Here's Catrina Allen.
So,
boy, a little bit of a clap there from I think one of the spectators. I could personally, Val, I could not see where that landed. We'll see where it ended up. And Maddie just leaving it nice and low. We're going to take a quick break, folks, and we'll be right back for the completion of this 11th hole.
Passion is more than fiery emotion. It feeds the spark to start your day. It fuels your obsessions. It inspires your dreams. Passion challenges your fears, and it repeatedly bathes you in sweat until you are transformed into a new, better you. Disc golf isn't just your passion, it's ours too.
Hey everybody, this is Kevin Jones. I'm here with my brand new Prodigy VP3 V2 backpack. And I'm loving this thing a lot. It's extremely lightweight. It's carrying all the discs I could ever ask for. It's pretty sturdy and durable. I've got my 2 putters up here, no problem. Room for a towel if need be. It's really lightweight, it's extremely efficient. And for all you, it's extremely affordable, so come check it out.
Oh man, as we come back on, Paige Bjerkaas has Paige Bjerkaas us playing very quickly, but she's now good speed control there. She's now nestled up under the basket. She will have an easy par. Here's Madison Walker on the left side, but that's no problems for her. Now we will find out where Catrina has turned up. That's the disc of Paige Pierce there. Catrina making a nice effort as well. She's going to be about, let's call it 35 feet. She has not putted well over these last two baskets. This is a dead tailwind.
And slightly uphill too. So she's got to get this disc high if she wants to give it a chance. Definitely gave it the height, hit dead center of that band, but not dropping it in. Again, opening the door again for Paige. Let's see if she can take advantage of this. Just inside the circle putt.
Oh, it gusted right at that moment. It was right when she was releasing a gust of wind. Now she had the right height, just the wrong line, just a little bit off to the left. So missed opportunity there, but still this tournament is in the grasp of two players.
And so quick.
Yeah.
That's not the routine that Paige Pierce does. We all know what her routine looks like, and that was not it. So maybe just trying to get in when the wind was down.
Yeah, I think trying to play the lull game, which is always tough. And we're going to head up the hill. Val, here we are on hole 12.
We're heading up the hill for this 321-foot shot, but it plays downhill here. It's another left to right shot. The gravity of this hillside just slopes down, so it's pulling the disc to the left. You got to make your way into the basket here. That's just tucked and nestled inside these trees. We saw Catrina throw a roller on this one, and I think that is the best shot to work your way into the trees. We're going to see a few backhands. We might even see one sidearm if Paige Pierce ends up throwing that. But it's just so far tucked inside those trees that it makes it really difficult to get in there. So we'll see what kind of trick shots these players can pull out.
Yeah, if we remember yesterday, Catrina threw the roller and parked this hole. I mean, she literally parked it. So this could be one of those things if she can remember back to what she was feeling yesterday, maybe she can execute a good shot here, get herself close, get a birdie, get that momentum back. Because right now the momentum seems to be in Paige Pierce's favor, and it's only had just happened over the last three holes, really, with a little bit of help by our leader, Catrina. But eventually the holes are going to run out, and Paige Pierce cannot miss putts like she did on that 11th hole.
Wow, and what cool shot right there to see the focus. Pressure is on, and every one of these shots, it's all about taking your time and being confident in each of those shots. Incredible shot.
Yeah, it really was. There's the disc right there, and yeah, what an amazing shot! Giving it an ace run, really going just long and to the right of the basket, and there we see the basket.
Wow, and just the way she snapped that, you could hear the audible snap, and that was just all the knowing her disc. Throwing it as hard as possible and letting the disc do the work. And she hit the opening in the trees just perfectly. And so look at this. We got Paige Bjerkaas, hair up and throwing a sidearm. Who is she? Come on.
She quickly ran back to the bag, grabbed a different disc, wanted to go for the sidearm. Yesterday, she was pretty enthused with her sidearm. We don't see Paige Bjerkaas throwing a lot of sidearms. So nice to see her working on that while she has the opportunity to.
Yep, just a little bit lower, and she would have had enough distance to carry her into that opening. And we do think this is so interesting. Madison's got a great sidearm, but choosing to do the Anheuser again today ends up a little bit on the left-hand side. She'll be putting up at the basket.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is an interesting thing because then she uses a sidearm on a similar distance hole, just a few holes. And here's that roller we're talking about, folks. See if we can catch what it's doing. Oh, this looks on a great line. And Kat has done it again, just on the front side of that log. She'll have a great birdie opportunity. We'll take a quick break and meet you on the green.
I can throw this disc around the world in one shot.
Never play disc golf too far into the jungle. There may be cheetahs.
Someone on your card can't recall if they threw a 6 or a 7. It was probably an 8.
See? Stay getting birdied, my friends.
What do you think, flatness and stiffness on this?
Somewhat flat, neutral stiffness. This is a good disc right here.
Purple and orange. Got it. 2 more.
Danny, this is a sick one.
And Paige Bjerkaas is yet again playing nice and quick. And sometimes that doesn't work in her favor. She's left it just on the left side of the basket. So she'll have a par putt. We're going to move in here. Madison Walker down on the lower left side portion of this fairway. It is one of those interesting things to not see her utilizing the sidearm. This hole plays so well for a sidearm, but you know, obviously we can't judge. She has prepared herself, and maybe the sidearm just wasn't feeling good on this hole.
And she wanted that, but that will just be a drop in par. So we're gonna look for Paige Pierce. We now flew past the basket just a little bit. And jack it off again.
Yeah, huge putt here, really, just to keep the momentum going. Because we can see right there at the bottom of your screen, bottom left of your screen, that's Kat's putt for birdie. Now, the situation is she has not been putting well over these last 3 or 4 holes. So that's no gimme. We're not counting it in. And this putt could go a long way to put some pressure on Catrina to make that. So we'll see if Paige can calm herself enough to execute this. Very, very protected green, so wind should not be much of an issue.
There's a little bit of a distraction. Hopefully they got the attention. And she knows this is not the time to airball.
Yeah, you could hear her say it to herself. An airball right now, right? She said, an airball right now, really, an airball. And so you obviously know how much this means to Paige, and she knows the exact situation and scenario that all of these players are in.
Here we go, birdie for Catrina, and it's in.
Before each round, inspect the clamps in the handle pole and tighten if needed. Many Zuka Kart users have found the middle pole section to be the most effective place to attach it. Also, you can remove the pouch without undoing the Velcro.
And as you said, Val, that is in for Catrina Allen. She now moves to 1 under par for the round. She's back to a 3-stroke lead. There's Madison Walker just tapping in her par, and Paige will come in to complete this 12th hole for our lead card. But that was a huge putt for Catrina.
That was more of the tempo that we've seen in the previous rounds. So just a little more casual, just kind of getting into the rhythm.
More smooth.
more smooth for sure. Hole 13, 327 feet, par 3. This one's pretty wide open, but you have to worry about the slope of this fairway. It goes from right to left again, so pulling any of the hyzer shots down into the valley. You want to play the shot nice and wide, and it's all about the height that you release at and how wide it is, and I guess the angle too, if we're going to talk about that. But it's all about bringing that disc in on the right-hand side and choosing that spot to aim at. It's another tough shot to get it close to the green because it's just so fast. So you can get those big skips that'll send you sailing down the hill.
Yeah, you're right. And really, in the first couple of rounds here, Kat's played this hole, I would say, okay. She played it pretty safe yesterday. It was actually one of the only pars she had in the round. But Paige Pierce has left it low to the left both rounds, giving herself some tough looks at this basket. But it's a tricky little green. The big tree just to the back right comes into play a lot, seemingly. And so our players are still walking up the hill there. And this is the final round. We're now on hole 13, which means we have just 6 holes left.
Yeah, this is the home stretch.
Yeah.
Still, there can be movement that happens in the next couple of holes, but we are in the home stretch. This is now where they're pushing forward.
Yep, 2 battles underway right now. The battle for the title with this woman right here with a 3-stroke lead, Catrina Allen, with a lot of angle on this.
Oh, wow. So fortunate to hit the base of that tree. Otherwise, she would have been sailing down the hill. She'll still have a look at a putt. She's even with the basket from there. Just a little short. So let's see if Paige can dial in this height. I like that.
Yeah, I like this look a lot. Is it going to be able to make its way far enough down the hill? Ooh, a good skip, slow skip inside the circle, though. So birdie opportunity for both of our 2 leaders here.
It was a really nice line, but you can tell Paige knew right out of her hand that that was not going to be enough and just landing a little bit short. That was the right angle we want, but whoa, taking it very wide. Really working the whole fairway. Paige Bjerkaas, she's going to have a tester putt behind that tree.
Yeah, it all depends on how much the tree comes into play for her, but the crosswind hits this disc as it comes out of this chute and affects it almost immediately. Oh, and it's got Maddie's disc, pulling it out to the right, leaving it out there at the circle 2 range. We'll take a quick break. We'll see you on the green.
For me, it's time with my friends.
For me, it's a walk in the park.
For me, it's my job.
For me, it's fun.
And we're back live with Madison Walker out here at the circle 2 range. Just a chip up for her at this point. And giving it a little bit of a run. It's a curious decision for her. I think just a nice little chip up would have been warranted there. And you can see the reaction. Yeah.
The same exact thing. Yesterday, she turned a big birdie putt into a bogey on this hole, and she does not want to relive that, but she's going to have a A little bit of a putt back. Looks like Paige Bjerkaas has a view after straddling out to the right. And not bad. Good thing she went for that, but she lands up next to the basket. Could be more unfortunate things happen after that.
Well, I think, the tree was more in her line than we could see from this angle. So I think it just came in just enough to affect it. And now we'll see Kat come into her putt. We can tell from the flag there, she's going to be about, we'll call it 26 feet away in a straddle position here, up the hill into a slight headwind. Hitting a little bit of the basket there, a little bit low to the right. And that'll be just a par for Catrina, but here we go. Paige Pierce with yet again another opportunity to take a stroke, and the jacket counter continues to roll. This is birdie for Paige Pierce.
All the pressure's been on these putts. So she just needs to hit this one, get that confidence back.
And now we just saw Paige Pierce miss that putt, and she's had so many opportunities. And another one goes flying by. It'll most likely stay a 3-stroke advantage for Catrina. This is Madison Walker, and this is the battle for third. Oh, and completely missing it. And I feel, Val, like even the upshot, she'd almost thought, oh my God, I'm not going to make that next one. That's a tough position.
She put her mindset immediately to, wait, why did that roll away? Oh, that's going to be a really tough putt for me. And it was. And now still another bit of a tester putt with the wind picking up through this little fairway here. Maybe needs to just get a little bit more grip. Must be a little bit of dew from the San Francisco fog still on the grassy greens. And there we go, but that is a bogey for Madison.
And yeah, the Glen Eagles Golf Club bites again. Bogey to birdie. We've seen so many of those over our coverage here over these 3 days now. And we appreciate everybody out there at home watching along with us as we see these women battling it out for this title.
You know what I feel like? Paige is in these two putting positions. She knows that she has to make it to keep the pressure on or to gain a stroke. Again, just forcing the shots to happen instead of just confidently stepping up to those putts and doing what she knows she can do. But we're on to hole 14. It's a 263-foot hole. There's a shot right out to the right here, back out into a golf fairway to bring it back in a hyzer angle, but we're flying the straight shot. We know that Paige Bjerkaas likes throwing the shot. We know Paige Pierce also likes throwing the shot. Madison, she's thrown the sidearm up this gap as well, but we know Catrina goes the right-handed gap. It's a nice hyzer. If you're able to get the distance, you're going to be putting. And so it really takes the trees out of the way almost immediately. And we've said it before and we'll say it again, but that is the shot to take on this hole. It really takes all the risk out of play.
Yeah, it definitely does. We are in agreement on this one, taking that right side. But really, I what you were just talking about, I mean, all the pressure. I mean, when you have a 5-stroke gap to try to make up, you know, going to bed that night that tomorrow the pressure's going to be on me. You just know that that's
Gotta
going to
make
be,
it happen.
Yeah, got to make it happen. And really, Paige Pierce has done that. She just hasn't made those big putts that we typically see her make, and she struggled with her putting throughout this 2019 season. And so, you know, the opportunities, while they've been there, eventually they're going to start to run out. And we're getting to that point right now. Just 5 holes to play in this championship and a 3-stroke advantage for Catrina Allen.
Yeah, and Catrina has been playing such great golf and has let Paige catch up to her in the last couple of holes. But Paige has had every opportunity to tighten that gap. But Catrina still ahead 3 strokes.
And we've seen Kat take the hyzer line. First round she hit early, which is the danger, but yesterday she got through nicely. She's done it again. She's gotten out there very nicely and brought it in right by the basket.
Almost right in the chips.
Yeah,
Chippewa
right.
Nation.
Yeah, could be in Chippewa. Just a foot away from the chips. And now we'll see Paige Pierce going up the middle. I think this is advantage Catrina. This is a tough shot right here. And a complete yank, and she's gotten very lucky, actually. She's gotten through a little bit out onto that right side. She's going to have what I would suspect is just a long chip into this green. But all of a sudden, Catrina Allen is taking control of this tournament yet again.
Another up the gut shot. But yeah, it's just so tough to hit that line and to have the height to carry you through that tunnel. I think it is a better shot if you're throwing a sidearm to go up the tunnel. A nice flex on this. But that's the tree that always catches you if you're not able to get the distance. But we'll catch up with these ladies closer to the basket in just a minute.
When you order from Dynamic Discs, we do our best from start to finish. First, we receive your order from the website and print out the packing slip detailing the specific items you selected. Then, your order is pulled directly from the shelves, packed in a cardboard box to prevent bending during transit, and quickly on its way to you with free shipping. For every purchase online with Dynamic Discs, you'll receive rewards points so you can save on your next order. We'll work with you to make sure you get the exact disc you're looking for. For anything from Dynamic Discs, Latitude 64, or Westside Discs, head to dynamicdiscs.com.
Before each round, inspect the clamps in the handle pole and tighten if needed. Many Zuka Kart users have found the middle pole section to be the most effective place to attach it. Also, you can remove the pouch without undoing the Velcro. If you are flying to a tournament or disc golf vacation, the cart easily disassembles and packs into a suitcase and can be checked as baggage.
And here we are. This is the long run. Look at this. Oh, what a nice line. That was a beautiful line there by Paige. Extremely long shot. That was somewhere in the range of 90 feet left into the pin. And so what a run by Paige. And just Paige Bjerkaas just chipping up, putting it into the chips, as Val called it, Chippewa. And now we're going to see Madison Walker. She's going to have a birdie putt. And let's not forget the battle for third place is on. I would say there's 3 people involved in this battle. Paige Bjerkaas is at 1 under par. Madison Walker's at even, and Sarah Hokum is at 1 over. Oh, and Madison just leaving it a little bit low.
Did she just do a chicken dance?
Yeah, I think she did.
Oh, leaving it low, not putting enough on it. Yep, it was the chicken dance. We saw Calvin do it as well. She needs to go for that in that battle that she's in. And there's Catrina just making it look so easy. That's the reason you take that right-hand route.
It
Drop in birdie.
is. It absolutely is. Drop in birdie. And we'll see Madison come in for her tap-in par. And now we have 4 holes left. Let's take a look at this 15th hole, playing back down the hill.
Hole 15, 385 feet, par 3. We are on a bit of an elevated tee as we shoot down to the basket. Another left to right hand shot. And this is like the perfect flight of a disc right here. We could see a sidearm out of Madison possibly, but a lot of Anheuser shots. Landing yourself near the basket is key. We can see that basket is perched up on that stump. So it really puts it up into the wind. And so landing on the tailwind side is going to be your chance to go for that birdie putt. But the wind is just, yeah, it's kind of lulled right now, but we've seen a few gusts. So this could be that hole that we see the wind come into play a little bit more.
Yeah, for sure. And, you know, that's it. We have now a 4-stroke lead with 4 holes to play.
Yep.
And, you know, this one is with the shorter tee pad for the ladies players, that the hole itself is not really all that difficult. To me, it's really the green area. And I think you just get one down there and you chip it up. Certainly, if you're Catrina Allen right now, that you just put one down anywhere within 50, 60 feet of the hole, chip it up to the base and move on.
Right.
You know, there's no time right now to get tricky in any way.
Right. She doesn't need to go for it right now.
Anywhere within 60 feet of this hole is going to be just a chip up. I think she's done just that, asking for it to get down, but she's going to be on the bottom side. That is fine, folks. That's just a chip from there. We'll anticipate a layup from our leader. But now everything changes for this player, because now all there is to do is go for this basket, try to put it as close as possible, make a birdie.
Ooh, releasing it real high. Paige Pierce is now has to put the, oh, cameraman is still in focus on the basket, so I don't think it took him out completely, but that was very close.
So yet again, speed control an issue for our second place competitor, Paige Pierce. We do believe that did hit the cameraman. We think it hit him pretty much square on. Oh, and Paige Bjerkaas is now in the bunker. That is the OB bunker. We saw Ricky Wysocki go into that yesterday. Now here's Madison. In a way, the cameraman saved Paige Pierce. We have to remember, folks, everybody at home, you might be grumbling a little bit. The cameramen are a part of the course. Just imagine them as like a tree. So no harm, no foul there. We'll take a quick break, and we will see you down on the green. Paige Bjerkaas playing very quickly. She was in that hazard area, so she will take a bogey on this hole. She's just chipped up. we'll see Paige Pierce, and we see Catrina Allen right in our screen there, moving her way towards her shot. But I think it's going to be Paige Pierce.
We were discussing a little bit in the commercial break. The camera did get in the way there, but it only stopped her from skipping just a few feet past. But in normal situations, this would just be a layup. But again, we see the jacket coming off, and Paige Pierce might as well run for this. There's no reason she shouldn't. It's 10 strokes difference between her and third place. And you know what's on her mind. She wants first place.
Unfortunately, there's really no other decision for her. This could... Oh boy. And that's the issue. Here's the thing though too. And I understand having your style of putting, right? So that's the way Paige Pierce putts. She's aggressive, all that. But why not have just more of a fluffy run? You know, why don't, you know, like I would have changed up the way I would have run at that. I would have given it a little bit more loft, try to just have it fall in the basket versus shooting by. Oh, there we go.
Yes.
Human highlight reel, Madison Walker. Look at this. Look at this, folks. So confident. Bang.
Wow. The extension on her arm. She knew that was going in all the way.
And look, this is now going to be a two-stroke swing in our battle for third place. You know, this is a big deal for a player like Madison Walker, a third place in a big event like this. Paige Bjerkaas is going to be bogeying, and boy, what an impressive putt. And what an impressive putt there. Maybe let's do another Zuka replay.
Cow.
That was awesome.
Well, we'll replay it in our minds, but that was a big putt for Paige. That was to save par after blowing past the basket on a birdie run. So she's still in it. If she would have missed that, the momentum would have completely swung in Kat's direction. But there's still a few holes left that Paige can make up these strokes. So it is not over yet.
Well, it's never over till it's truly over. And there we go. We just saw Catrina Allen just chip up, which is exactly what she should have done and what she did. Let's take a look at the 16th hole. Just 3 holes left in our championship.
Hole 16, it's 285 feet. Again, slightly downhill to the basket. It's an island hole, so we see this wall surrounding the island completely. We're going to see a lot of different angles coming into the basket here, but it's all about landing on this island. That's going to be the most important thing for all of these players as they're in their own very own battles. Paige Pierce needs to land in the island. Catrina needs to land in the island here if she wants to continue that pace that she's on. Madison and Paige Bjerkaas, it's still important for them. They're in a battle for third place. So gotta land in the island.
Yeah. I mean, well, definitely. But what a big putt there by Madison Walker.
Yep.
To be able to, and here is Maddie stepping up quickly. Look at the wind whipping. Crosswind should help her a little bit right now, and it does just that. Nice job by Maddie Walker. Yesterday, she birdied 3 of the last 4 holes. So she likes this finish. This finish lays out well for her.
We're seeing, as the wind's picking up, Catrina choosing the wide hyzer line. This is a good play. She's using the wind to her advantage.
Biggest shot of the tournament. If it's inbounds, I think she's got it all locked up. And she's done just that, doing exactly what she needs to do. I'll tell you, the relief for her, we've all been there. And that's a huge relief. If I was the trophy maker, I'd start to put Catrina Allen's name on it. Here's Paige. Boy, throwing the turnover. Is it going to have... And there you go. Speed control. Speed control. I'm telling you, that has been the name of the game in this event.
And there it is. I would say that would cap off the tournament for Catrina. And look at this run.
Oh, nice. A little beautiful drive there by Paige Bjerkaas. We'll take a break and see you down in the on the green.
No, it's all good. You walked right in.
And we're back. This is the drop zone. Now, yesterday, about this exact same time, I would have told you this was impossible to make, but Madison Walker yesterday canned this putt. Let's see what Paige Pierce has for us. There's no doubt it's insanely difficult.
Oh, come on.
Oh,
That was looking so good. Wow, the same exact flight path that Madison's had where the disc hyzers into the basket. Man, that was looking good. And here's Madison. Let's see. It's a shorter putt from yesterday and inbound, so this is for a birdie.
Just a little bit to the left there for Madison, and then now she's going to have a nice difficult comeback here because it'll be turned back now into a little bit of a crosswind the way the wind's coming in today. And her closest competitor, Paige Bjerkaas, is parked under the basket for her birdie. And just as a little bit of a scoring update while we see Paige attempt this putt, we're going to talk about Sarah Hokum, who has birdied the 16th. Oh, and Paige unable to, and I don't think that means much at this point. She's clearly going to finish in second place. It just makes these last two holes a lot more relaxing for Catrina. This putt means everything. Ooh, and Maddie stepping in and nailing it.
Such a strong putt. I mean, dead flat, right in the center. Nice putt.
Hi guys, I'm Alyssa Van Lannen. You've probably seen me hiding in front of the tee pad or laying in the bushes trying to get the best shot. For the best moments in disc golf on and off the course through my photos and videos, check out patreon.com/Alyssa Van Lannen.
And there you go. Paige Pierce is going to finish with a double bogey. And that is all she wrote. And there's the tap in for Paige Bjerkaas. And we have a nice little battle now going on here. And let's take a look at 17.
Hole 17, par 4, 465 feet, working our way uphill this time. It's all about a big crushing drive. You want to land on the left-hand side of this fairway. I think that gives you the best position to throw your upshot next to the basket. But this is all about the understanding how far you have to throw it and the uphill climb for each and every shot. It just makes it feel like a little bit farther. So you might even disc up on the upshot, even though it looks like it might be a putter upshot. So I think just judging the distance on this one is what is the biggest challenge. But you can get a birdie on this one. It's a par 4. The distance is just about 4,500 feet. Is that a thing?
Well, yesterday, when we after our live coverage is over, the men's live coverage, we were back working at Bevel last night. We were watching the ladies' coverage. I saw the roller that Catrina threw. It was way better than we even talked about. Her roller actually came all the way up inside the first circle. And so a roller on this one is not a bad idea if you can pick up the right angle. Again, you talked about it yesterday. Catrina's the only one who throws rollers on this 17th hole. But we'll obviously give Catrina the due she deserves. She will be the champion of this tournament. Well, let's talk about this battle for third place. Madison Walker, Paige Bjerkaas tied for third at 1 under par. Sarah Hokum with a little bit of previous champion resolve is at 1 under par for the round. She's even for the tournament, just one stroke back of those two. And wouldn't that be interesting to see Sarah Hokum sneak in at the very end and snipe a third place finish? It's absolutely possible at this point.
Wow, and you could just see the two battles going on right there. Paige Pierce has that solid second place. Catrina Allen solidified the win, but yep, there's the -1 for the round today for the tournament. But yeah, Sarah Hokum just one stroke back. It's always fun to come back, you know, when they're not expecting it. When there's a battle going on in front of you and the pressure's on and those two women's mind, but to sneak in behind, that's always fun. Not choosing a roller this time, maybe a little bit of a safer shot, changing up the strategy and just pumping it out there to the middle of the fairway.
Yeah, and actually, in your breakdown of this hole, I think that's the exact shot you explained. Up the middle, finishing a little bit on the left side is the perfect shot here, and our leader has put herself in position.
Really, Catrina just has to just finish this round, and she's won.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be an absolute catastrophe if she did not win this tournament right now. So just putting it out there, just finishing this round is what is on her mind. And a little bit of a low drive from Madison, but not a problem.
Yeah, it's always interesting to see Madison's initial reactions. They're a lot better than she initially reacts. But here we see Paige Pierce, champion in her own right, and certainly gave it one heck of a run. She gave Catrina certainly a run for her money, and at one point making Catrina feel a little uncomfortable. Brought putting questions into play there, but at this point, it's almost all over, folks. And we appreciate everybody watching back home here on this Mother's Day. Hopefully you're getting to spend some time with your mother.
Oh, wouldn't that be nice?
Call and say you love her. That's all I got to say.
See some pictures of children watching disc golf with their mothers, watching this lead card action. But wow, Paige Pierce just crushed that. We will catch up with them farther up the fairway in just a minute.
If you guys like the H3 V2, but maybe you're looking for just a little bit more flip up and glide, the H4 V2 is gonna be your disc. I'm absolutely loving it, and it filled a spot in my bag immediately.
And we're catching her this time. We're catching all of Paige Bjerkaas' setup and throw, but leaving it just short outside of circle one.
Boy, just making it easy for Madison Walker. I think at this point, Paige Bjerkaas, you know, she does play quick, but man, she's left a lot of meat on that bone, that's for sure. And now we'll see Madison. This is just a sidearm. There's a ton of space around that corner for Madison. Just got to pick the right angle, pick the right disc, and it should feed right to this basket. No worries really about going long. Oh, and there you go. Maddie's done exactly what she needed to do. That'll be a birdie opportunity for Madison Walker.
We see Paige in the distance, but first we have Catrina. And so this is what it looks like on the left-hand side of the fairway. Wide open and just making it look so easy for a birdie. All right, we should expect to see Paige running at this, so look out, cameraman.
Yeah, speed control has been an issue, so this cameraman is in the line of fire, that's for sure. Oh, and just going just a little bit high and to the right. So we'll see next here as Paige Bjerkaas come up the hill. She'll be first to putt. She's going to be just outside the circle on the bottom side. I'll tell you from experience, this is a difficult putt because it is uphill. All that gravitational pull, pulling it down. It's a crosswind, all kinds of challenges here. Let's see what Paige Bjerkaas has for us.
Nice view here. All right, looks like she's just outside, so she's able to do her signature walk-through putt. Haven't seen too many big putts out of her this weekend. Let's see if she can get this one. And just not falling in today.
And as a scoring update, Sarah Hokum did birdie this 17th hole, so she's now 2 under for the round. She's currently, it's now a 3-way tie for third place. Of course, we know Madison Walker is going to have a birdie opportunity, but depending on what Sarah Hokum does, we could, on the 18th, there could be a whole shift here for third place. This is Paige. Oh, wow. Boy, the wind fully pulled that one out. It was high. There's no doubt about that, but the wind just pushing it out.
Again, thankfully that does not matter. Paige is in solid second place. But man, there's that wind that we've been talking about all weekend long. It might be really picking up when the men tee off this afternoon. Could make things really interesting for them.
Absolutely. And there's Catrina where they're dropping birdie. And we'll move up to the 18th hole. Here we are on hole 18. Val, break it down for us.
We made it. All right, we're on hole 18. It's 567 feet. It's not really about the drive here, but you do want to punch it out as far as you can, avoiding the crater on the left. There is OB on the right, but all the challenge comes into the basket here, and quickly cleared it. That was an OB green that you have to throw over. You have to throw over the OB hazards that just are sprinkled around the basket. There's OB left, there's OB behind, there's even the OB that continues on the right-hand side. So the most difficult part is that upshot. So just bombing a huge drive out there, just giving yourself a good opportunity to get up to the basket is key.
Yeah, absolutely. And so let's talk about what's really the story to talk about right now. We'll bring up the top 10 leaderboard, and we're going to see our situation here. And here it is, folks. You look right there. You see Sarah Hokum just in these last few holes has just shot up the leaderboard. She's in a tie for fourth. Historically, the first 2 days, she has not played 18 well at all. So, we'll see how she's able to play this. We do got to mention Jessica Weiss, hot score to this point at 3 under. And she's in the clubhouse with a 3 under. So nice play by Jessica. She's in 6th, pretty much locked in there at 6th.
Yeah.
And so we'll see what Hokum has to do. And then that really kind of lays out what Madison Walker has to do. At this point, if Madison were to just par this 18th hole, she would be guaranteed at least a tie for third, if not a third solo, depending on what the other two do.
Yeah, and Sarah has been playing really great, especially in this back nine. She's 3 down for the back nine and just playing really consistent golf. So that's good to see out of our last year's champion. And here we go. We're catching up with the second card. That's Erica Stinchcomb. She's in 9th place, tied for 9th right now. And here we go. There's Sarah.
Yeah, and one thing I'll say here with Sarah, she's in a much better position, at least off of the tee. She has, in the first 2 rounds, been way up to the right. Now, also what I'll say, we know Holcomb's distance. This is going to push her distance to the absolute edge. In fact, we might just see her lay this up, maybe potentially playing the long game here.
And this is what I was going to mention. Playing off to the right-hand side. She's laying short, but the right-hand side of this, as you approach the green area, is a little bit more open. So it lets you get a little bit more distance and avoids the golf green. But safe play. She's looking at a par.
Yeah, still just a layup. Put yourself in there for par and see what Madison has, because at this point, Madison really controls her own destiny on this hole. And we have absolutely no idea if Madison is aware of that at this point. She might be, she might not be.
And that is Rebecca Cox's throw. She's sitting in 7th place right now. Seems to be a solid 7th place if she's able to par this hole.
She's put herself in position for that par. And here is our 5-time women's world champion, Elaine King.
Does this mean Elaine just outdrove everybody in the group?
Absolutely.
I think that's what this means.
Absolutely.
And she's probably saying that in her head too.
As I said, Elaine, very competitive.
Come on, get up.
And just a layup for
All
Elaine.
right, just a layup.
We know how she's playing this hole. She's got it all figured out. And so there's our chase card as they come up this 18th fairway. They'll have to pretty much completely go all the way up to those shots before our lead card will take the tee. We saw Paige Pierce yesterday so far up. She's just throwing a putter up and over the green there. So I'll have to let them just kind of clear out the fairway before we can see them continue.
It is always nice to see a little bit more golf from the other competitors out there. There were 22 women in the field this weekend, so that's a nice showing. On the West Coast, there's typically large fields. We expect to see that out of the tournament happening in Santa Cruz just next weekend at De La Viega, playing on the De La disc golf course as well as the golf course. So here we have Sarah throwing her upshot. It's a nice play with the sidearm, hoping just to spike it right next to the basket. And there it is.
Yeah, and there it is. And she's going to have a very respectable 2 under par finish, final round score, moving herself to 1 under par. Really back just 2 days ago, we had no idea that we would see a player at 17 under par coming into this 18th hole. We could have never anticipated that at all. But, as we've been talking about over the last couple of days, the players seemingly have figured this course out and sort of figured out how to get around this course without as much problems as we saw last year. So there's the upshot of Rebecca Cox. And at this point, I would say now the fairway is clear. We'll be back on the tee of this 18th hole here in just a moment, as our lead card is going to be prepared to execute this last hole. The thing I'm really concerned about or watching right now is to see the way that Madison Walker plays this hole. A solo third finish would be a really, really good finish for Maddie, especially on a course that on paper does not necessarily fit her game. And here is the leader, Catrina. Beautiful drive.
That is all you need to do. Here's Madison going for the backhand. Let's see if turn it over enough. And nice shot. It's going to land her in a good placement.
Beautiful shot there by Madison Walker. And there, just as a scoring update, we saw Sarah Holcomb just tap in her par. So she's officially in the clubhouse at 1 under. Here's Paige Bjerkaas, who's tied with Sarah, yanking it over, leaving herself pretty far back.
And that's going to be a really tough angle to the basket. She's going to have to throw more of a turnover shot. And so that's going to be tough angle from there. Let's see a bomb. You know, Paige wants to unleash on this one. Not turning it over enough. Just drop.
She's way past the crater. She's way past everything and inbounds. There we go. All 4 are off the tee. We'll take a short commercial break and we'll be back to see the champion crowned.
Before every round, tighten the wheel knobs. Remember to tighten both sides simultaneously using a clockwise motion. Only tighten the set screw once your wheel knobs have been tightened.
To even more securely attach your umbrella.
And quickly, there's Paige Bjerkaas just laying up, putting it right there in the middle of the fairway. I think a smart play by her. And just as a little bit of a programming update for everybody at home, we will have our tournament director, Sean Jack, who is the tournament director of the San Francisco Open and one of the key people of the Disc Golf Pro Tour. He will be interviewing our champion, Catrina Allen, after the scores have been verified. So stick with us for about 4 or 5 minutes after the round, and we will get some words from Catrina, a little bit of a reaction from her. All green light here for Kat. This is just icing on the cake. And she's played that perfectly.
Yeah, all the hard work is now complete. I mean, she could literally just lay that up in the underneath the basket and drop it in. That's how much of a lead she has given herself. Here's Madison. Let's see if she can get this shot inbounds, claim that 3rd place, and she's just going for the layup.
Smart. I mean, absolutely smart. Now it's just about let's call it a 90-foot chip. She has a 90-foot chip. If she can put herself within just a few feet, she can solidify herself in that 3rd place position, and I think that says a lot about where Madison's game is right now. And it would be a really nice finish for her. We see Paige Pierce. Paige will finish in 2nd place here.
Checking to make sure. Is she up? All right, going for it. And I expect to see her actually going for the basket. I mean, why not? Put on a show for the crowd. And yes, a little more height in that, a little more left, a little more height, and that would have been in the basket. Thanks for giving us something to talk about, Paige. I mean, amazing play this weekend. Amazing battle you put on in this final round. But Catrina Allen seemed to be unstoppable this weekend.
And that disc you just saw fly in was the disc of Paige Bjerkaas. She'll solidify herself in a tie for 4th with Sarah Hokum. Now here's Madison. 1 stroke ahead of those 2 previously mentioned players.
Good shot.
Oh, and she's done it. She has put herself right there. And so there it is, folks. What a weekend by our FPO players. And I'll tell you, this Disc Golf Pro Tour has been impressive by the FPO. The FPO play has really risen this season more than almost any other season I've seen. It's just absolutely incredible. And so congratulations to all of our top ladies here. See everybody just working up the hill, all the cameramen shuffling to get in position to get a picture of our champion. And remember, everybody, we will get some words from Catrina Allen just a few minutes after, once the scores have been confirmed. So stick around for that. Sean Jack interviewing. And Paige. Yeah, that's just something you don't want to ever have happen. There's the tap in there. We'll see Madison come in and tap in.
And this is just courtesy for the champion, to allow the champion to be the last person to putt out. And I'm glad the players were able to recognize that and giving Catrina Allen her time. She is your 2019 San Francisco Open champion. Oh, you see Sean Jack right there in the blue jacket.
Winner of the 2019 San Francisco Open, Catrina Allen.
And as Val said, that is our TD, Sean Jack, an assistant TD as well. And Sean's done an incredible job to bring this tournament to the Bay Area. It's not an easy feat to run a disc golf event inside the city limits of one of the U.S.'s largest cities. But Sean has done a great job along with his entire staff. So big thanks to them. And we'll just sort of react here a little bit until we get in our ear that Sean and Kat are set up for our post-round interview. What do you think, Val? It's not a whole lot to talk about as far as the storyline, but just impressive play overall.
It was impressive play. And I think, today everyone on the card struggled. So it wasn't the day of the great golf being played, but it was all about yesterday's round. Catrina Allen shooting a 10 down. That was just playing as perfect as you could absolutely play. And so I think yesterday was that was everything she needed to get that confidence. And it put her in the position she was today, giving her a 5-stroke lead at the beginning of the round. And that 5-stroke lead is what she's just continued to build on. There was a moment that Paige Pierce put on the pressure after eagling hole 10. I mean, that was huge. Paige was just hanging in there in second place. That was her highlight of the weekend. But in the end, she was not able to capitalize on any of the shots that she needed to in that moment. And Catrina continued on her stride and kept going toward the win. And in the end, I mean, Catrina did play the best out of the weekend, and that's why she's number one.
Yeah, it is. So well said. And you're right. Paige did at one point put the pressure on, and that was sort of affecting Catrina. And when you were talking about there, we had the scorecard up of Catrina Allen, and we saw that really after the bogey she took on 9, she played incredibly well on the back 9, birdieing the last 3 holes of this tournament. She in a normal situation, she might have even birdied 15 because she was only 18 feet from the pin and laid it up, as well as birdieing 14 and 12. So when it's your time to shine, Kat really stepped up and made it happen.
Yeah, 5 down in the back 9 there. So she just absolutely lit it up. But what a great weekend of golf. And I'm excited to see the men's coverage this afternoon as we do see the wind picking up a little bit. But this course is just such a challenge. And really, I mean, players like Catrina Allen and Paige Pierce, we expect to see them at the top of the leaderboard with their distance and the great putts, and they really excel on these types of courses. But to see Madison Walker there in third place, she played really great golf this weekend. And I mean, if we played tomorrow's round, I think that intro would just be all Madison Walker replays. I mean, huge putts all weekend long, like unexpected huge putts. So that was really fun to see. Thank you, Madison, for putting on a show for us. Yeah, and that no doubt earned her way to that third place finish. And congratulations. And that really sets her in a good position for this streak of tournaments that we have on the West Coast.
Yeah, for sure. Playing well at this point, and the West Coast swing is always an important part of the disc golfing tour. The courses are so challenging in a few different ways. You know, each one of the courses brings its own unique challenge. The players love coming out to the West Coast. I mean, we always did. For me, it was always coming home, which was nice. But of course, we have the great Midwest swing of the summertime and the World Championships and all that good stuff. But yeah, good play there by Madison Walker. Everybody stay close to your computers. We're just a few minutes away from hearing from our champion, Catrina Allen, which will be awesome to hear. And it'll be interesting to hear her reaction and maybe how she was feeling as maybe a little bit of that pressure got put on by Paige Pierce. And, you know, the story continues to build for this 2019 season of Catrina Allen putting really well, Paige Pierce not putting so well. These are the storylines that this is why we watch, because the storylines are there for us to talk about and to be written. And ultimately, it's just great to be able to see live disc golf from all over this country.
Yeah, and we know it as good as any one of these players, the ebbs and flows, and I mean, just how your game changes throughout a season. It's just all about that experience and knowing when to put in time around the basket. And sometimes when you put too much pressure on that one weak point of your game, it really is that just like glaring evident thing that's your weak point. And so in your mind, we all know disc golf is 90% mental. Mm-hmm. And according to Catrina Allen, the other 10% is also mental.
Right.
But once you have that in your mind, it's really tough to get out of it. So hopefully Paige is able to put in some time around the basket and hopefully get that putter back in line.
Yeah, absolutely. And we can just see in our camera view here, we have Sean and Catrina getting lined up. I'm going to wait and hear in my ear until they're fully ready. But we're about to hear from Catrina Allen, our 2019 San Francisco Open champion. And
again, congratulations to Sean Jack for such a successful event in the middle of one of our favorite cities in the world. And I think it's great that the tournament director is able to interview the champion.
Yeah, we saw Sean interviewing back at the Memorial Championship as well. We saw him interviewing Eagle McMahon as he took down the title there. And so I think we are ready, and we're going to send it to the interview right now. Here we go.
So Catrina, our 2019 San Francisco Open champion. How does it feel?
It feels really good, especially after last year. I had some struggles here and there. I actually wanted to go back and look and see how much better I did on some holes, because I know there's some holes where I maybe just one hole played like 7 strokes better or something like that. Yeah, so yeah, I'm excited. It was really good.
So yesterday you shot an incredible 10-21 minute round. What was the key to success?
No bogeys. I think that definitely helps. Yep. Because I think I would have made some putts today and not run out of bounds and shot close again. But yeah, no bogeys was the key. Staying in bounds. Just taking a couple extra seconds here and there to be aware of any wind and staying on the right or left side of a fairway to attack your next shot.
So you came in today with a 5-stroke lead. Does that change the way you play the final round, or you just stick to the game plan?
Just stick to the game plan. Always the game plan. I personally feel like if I try to think like, okay, you know, if I just shoot this score, that should be good enough, then I'm all over the place, as opposed to just, okay, I'm going to throw this disc on this hole and I want to be here. That seems to be better for my game.
So the Pro Tour has you ranked #1 in the world for about a month now. What has fueled that success?
I would say a couple of things. I've been working really hard in the gym. Austin and I have not really been drinking. Well, we don't drink at all during the week or during big tournaments. And if there's,
How about right now?
No, because Santa Cruz is too close. Especially the older I am, I feel like it likes to linger with me longer. So that's definitely helped. I feel like that when I'm drinking, it affects my mental game. So we've kind of put that to the side. Also, we booked a trip to Mexico this winter, and so I'm going to do all my drinking there.
Nice, nice.
But yeah, and then just a game plan. Honestly, I feel like last year I would kind of get to the course and be like, oh, I threw all these shots, but I didn't really get a game plan. And so just really focusing on knowing exactly what to do in each condition on each hole.
So what's next for you?
The NT in Santa Cruz.
And do you want to thank anyone out in the audience today?
Yeah, of course I want to say Happy Mother's Day to my mom.
Happy Mother's Day to my mom, too.
And thank you to Prodigy and Black Ink Discs for supporting me, and everyone who sends messages and gets up and watches us ladies in the morning. We really appreciate it. So, and thanks to you guys.
Of course, of course.
Team Sean.
Team 2, Sean. Well, congratulations. Good luck in the Masters Cup and the rest of the tour.
Okay. See you next year. Thank you, guys.
And there we go. That was really an interesting interview. You know, the one thing that I really picked up on was how she had gone back to last year's and looked at, you know, some of the fixes she could have made, something like that. Sort of kind of close us out here on the FPO coverage here, kind of set us up for what we can maybe see in Portland in a couple of weeks here for the FPO, Val.
Well, I think it's going to be a similar situation. It's another huge course that they're going to be playing for the Portland Open. So I expect to see the same names at the top of the leaderboard just a couple weeks away. And that just gives them a little bit more time to dial in those putts, maybe continue to build on that motivation to get the #1 spot. I know this is only going to be fuel to the fire for Paige Pierce leading into next weekend, but Catrina Allen, with that confidence, I'm sure that she is going to put on a battle herself. So the battles continue in the FPO field, and it was another great showing of these incredible athletes. And so I want to give a huge thank you to the Disc Golf Pro Tour for following the FPO, giving us this live coverage, and also to MVP Disc Sports for providing the live coverage all weekend long. And I'm just so thankful that we get to sit here and cover disc golf and still be involved in the sport as much as we can.
Yeah, absolutely. Well said there, Val. And seems like maybe a couple lifestyle changes there for Catrina Allen's why we've seen a real switch up in her game. So congratulations to our 2019 San Francisco Open champion, Catrina Allen, at 18 under par. Just an incredible number. And that puts the FPO in the books for now. And now we shift to the men's coverage. We have just an awesome group of guys that we're going to be seeing coming up. Ricky Wysocki at 22 under par, and then 3 young to medium guns. Well, some super young, and Simon and Eagle with a lot of experience at 17 under par. Should be awesome. That live coverage will come directly to you through this screen at 3:30, just over, let's say 3 hours and 40 minutes, or no, excuse me, 3 hours and 10 minutes from now at 3:30 Pacific time. At 6:30 out on the East, there will be final round coverage, live coverage of the San Francisco Open. Thank you for being here. Happy Mother's Day, and we'll see y'all a little bit later.
Bye.